Who are you to doubt El Dandy?
This is Robbie Eagles.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
Hi, this is Mimic.
This is 5-time the world's heavyweight champion, the Scrap Daddy himself, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce.
This is Brian Alvarez, and you are listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Welcome to the show, folks. My name is Josh Sharma, and thanks very much for downloading Wrestle Radio Australia. This is our first episode.
Oh, yeah! G'day, this is Big Brody Marshall.
This is Brian Alvarez.
This is Dean Brady of the Millennials.
This is Jurassic Punk Sid Parker.
How many of you guys have heard the term kayfabe?
Hello, doggers. This is Jay Hunter from OSW Review.
This is Matt Grim Basso.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
This is Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, and you are locked in
to Wrestle Radio Australia.
I in the game, I'm champion, I'm Triple H. Undertaker, I'm your maker, bury the brother like Kane. Ooh, 1-3, hit the tombstone, hit the choke slam on face. Ooh, yeah, like a macho heel, tell like I'm Tommaso. If you suffer like tomatoes, I'ma keep a couple models. Ooh, and you may call me HBK. When I'm tuning up the vein, you best be getting in my way. Ooh, yeah, I'm degenerate, I love it, yes, I love it. If you ain't down with that, then I got two words for you, suck it. Too sweet, put your fangs up. Too sweet, hold another cup. Let's be busy, 23, got me feeling way too sweet.
I was trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was just awful.
I've turned chicken salad into chicken shit. I will continue to do so.
Here I was, blaming AEW for feeding you chicken shit, knowing you mindless millennials would be eating it up as if it were chicken salad, when it's really been your fault all along.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as people does, that's all there is to it. But a square peg in a round hole just never seems to fit.
This is Bianca Belair.
Hey, this is Kevin Owens.
Hey, it's Seth freaking Rollins.
It is the man, Becky Lynch.
It's Rhea Ripley here, and you're listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Hello and welcome to Making Chicken Salad, the show where we talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling, but more importantly, welcome to your longest running Australian wrestling podcast, Wrestle Radio Australia, where tonight we celebrate 500 episodes of the little podcast that could in Australian wrestling. I'm joined, let's go with reverse joining order. My name is Lachlan Albert. I'm joined by Jamie Apps. Jamie, always good to see you, brother.
Very glad to be here for this very special episode.
We are joined by the brain behind WrestleBrania, Jeff Setti. Jeff, good to see you, mate.
Always nice to see you. I hope you're well, Lock Scalibur. Do you notice I'm wearing the formal MCW hoodie tonight as opposed to the casual one? Subtle differences. These are pronounced. That's all.
Yeah, you had to match my hair color, I can see. We're also joined by the man who has been on almost all 500 episodes of Wrestle Radio Australia from the beginning, the man himself, Todd Eastman. Todd, how you doing, brother?
And boy, do I look tired. How are you, mate?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here tonight because, look, for the past few years, it has been an absolute delight being part of Wrestle Radio Australia. And look, as much as we're going to celebrate a little bit, we're also going to keep this show on the road a little bit with, you know, the stuff that we do. We're going to talk about what's going on around the world of wrestling. We're going to talk about some Aussie wrestling. Specifically, we're reviewing a show from the company that Wrestle Radio Australia was born out of, RCW, with their Mean Street Mayhem number 61 show. We've got a few people in the chat giving us the love here. Keanu Reviews with a let's go, happy 500th episode, boys. And Matty Huss, Matt in the chat saying bravo, WRA, massive achievement, massive contribution to the scene. Thank both of you boys so much. If you want to get involved, make sure you're here. Thursday nights, Wrestle Radio Australia is on twitch.tv/Wrestle Radio Australia to stream, to talk about all the wrestling from within Australia and around the world from the past week. And tonight we're talking about Riot City Wrestling's Mean Street Mayhem, which is, get the glass ready, Matty Huss, free on YouTube. Head on over to YouTube, search for RCW, get amongst Mean Street Mayhem number 61. And before we even talk about the wrestling, how fun is it to have a show themed around the movie Batman Forever? Like, what are they doing this just for me? Like, it's a Batman Forever themed wrestling show. That's phenomenal. I loved that. And this one kicked off with a three-way match. Kai Thorne, Scorch, and Dr. Richard Guda, who has once again lucked his way into a victory after literally falling into the win here in a triple threat match. The Future Shock in the chat with a congrats on the 500. Big coming from you, mate, from the legend himself. Thank you. I really enjoy this storyline of Dr. Richard Guda falling ass backwards into success. I think it's brilliant. I think he's just the guy to do it. It's the right comedy character. Kai Thorne and Scorch both looked great in this match, trading stuff back and forth. Let's pass it around. Todd, what did you think of this three-way match?
Yeah. Evidently, he's just a wrestler now. He's
Clearly.
just become a wrestler now. I agree completely. I like the way that they're constantly trying to find, it looks like they will be constantly trying to find inventive ways that he can fall into a win, which is great. So it's not him like out wrestling anyone, not him all of a sudden being able to work it's just him just lucking into it, which is perfect for that character.
Absolutely. Jeff, what did you reckon?
I mean, you guys all know my opinion on Dr. Guda. He is money. He is great. I love that the commentator finally acknowledged the cheese and said, oh, yeah, we all need a bit of cheese at the end of the match. That was kind of funny. And it absolutely fits in with what he does and who his character is. I think as a wrestler, Guda is really a little bit underrated. Like, we don't often... We're beginning to see that he's actually quite solid in the ring, because in a three-way, all three need to have their working boots on, and all three need to be quite good at what they do. Kai Thorne, I can't say enough things about. That was my first time watching Scorch, and hey, I liked a lot of what he brought. But, you know, right now, the future for Good is so bright, we should all wax our mustache. Jamie, I'm shocked you haven't already, mate. So I think, you know, to be the wrestler in the company lucking into wins, no one is better at this than Guda. And as Alex Firehart said, the finish was very funny. Literally fell backwards into success. I mean, well, let's see where this goes, because I think we're going to have a lot of fun with Guda in the next month or two.
Jamie, what did you reckon of the three-way here?
Yeah, again, brilliant finish. I think it's cool to see that RCW are going about developing these characters in different ways. So you've had the teacher, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. Mr. Cliff losing over and over again, despite like trying really hard. And then you've got Dr. Richard Guda, who's kind of doesn't seem to be trying that hard and is yet somehow winning. And it's like, for them to think on these different levels makes their shows so much more enjoyable to watch, because you don't really know how the booking team is thinking and how it's going to play out.
Exactly. And like, you've got matches on the card where they'll play out, you know, in a different way than you're expecting, even within the card. So the next thing that happened on the show was the setup for Haley Hendricks versus Katie Trey, who was accompanied by his two SWAT members. Loved the Two-Face gear on Katie and on the SWAT. I think, you know, those little touches show that Katie Trey really thinks about every show he's on and like, how can I make sure I'm delivering for this particular show, you know? So having that there was awesome. And Katie Trey offered to, you know, just take the concession from Haley Hendricks here. Don't bother having the match, because I'll send you to the hospital. So you can concede now. And Haley refused. So Katie got ready to beat. But luckily, Haley Hendricks was saved by Party Hard, Banjo Powers and Party Guy Ty, which set up the main event for tonight in a 6-person tag match, which I think was, you know, a good fun way to get a crazy 6-person main event without that necessarily just being a thing that they decided to put on. Like, I liked it actually being part of the story here.
Yeah, there's
and I think
a reason for it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we can talk about more of that when we get to the main event. But I also like that they didn't just have it right then, and they didn't save the match to the end of the card and then turn it at the last second. They had the promo, I guess, segment earlier in the night leading to that main event, which meant that there was some space when they then did a straight 2-on-2 tag match immediately here, which was Leah Lovegrove and Ricardo taking on the Old Guard in the form of Dean Brady and Violet Blitz. Obviously, the Old Guard having fallen on some hard times after RCW 300. But Dean Brady and Violet Blitz managing to get the win here over Ricardo and Leah Lovegrove. Jeff, what did you think of this tag match?
Before I move on to the tag match, the nice thing about this setup is it also gave it real stakes. It means that the main event means something to the audience watching, and even to us watching at home. Like, we're way more invested in it as an academy show. And I'm putting that in inverted commas because, hey, look at some of the people in this show, including Dean Brady, Mickey Fortune, Sigma, who's becoming really, really great. Einar the Strange. Like, some of these names are real flag bearers and corner posts, if you like, of RCW. So I think that was a really nice thing to see. I like this match so much. Again, this is one of those where you kind of knew that the Old Guard, being the more recognised team, were probably going to walk out with the win to build Dean Brady even more. But then they gave you that little dab. There were a few spots there where you were like, oh, maybe they can do it. Particularly some of the sequences between Leah and Violet that were really, really nice. I'm quite big on Leah Lovegrove. I think she's got a lot of potential. And I thought this was a terrific match. I really, really enjoyed that. As far as I'm concerned, that's why you've got to put academy show almost in inverted commas, because if these are their academy shows, you know they're major shows are fantastic. Just a great little,
absolutely.
Great.
Jamie, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, I really like this one as well. Right from the get-go, the Old Guard looked like the mega stars when they came out for their entrance, but then it was just a nice little story of like the experience ultimately beats out the heart and the tenacity of the two young guns who I thought they gave a lot to. They made Leah and Ricardo look like they could have beaten the Old Guard, which when you see this match on paper, you go, they've got no hope. But watching the match, you're like, oh, maybe Leah's going to like upset Violet, and then that's going to just send Dean into a maniacal rage.
Yeah, I like that there's enough of those little question marks that even though, because not only on paper is it like, yeah, the Old Guard probably win. In the situation where, you know, Mr. Cliff has just gotten his victory over Grim and all of this stuff, it's like, I think you definitely need to make sure that the Old Guard are winning here. They can't really afford another loss immediately after all of that stuff, right? But then to have those spots, especially as you guys are saying with Leah, who I think is just doing fantastic work. And I think Ricardo's a really fun gimmick, and putting Leah with somebody who is a fun babyface makes sense for her fan gimmick as well. Like, of course, she would be a fan of Ricardo and have the toy bow and arrow. Like, all of those points have all the thought put into them. And it led to what I thought was a really enjoyable matchup. Todd, what did you think about the tag here?
I feel like Brady and Blitz are like the male and female version of the same character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like he's the male Dean Brady, who's a psycho, and he's his female counterpart, who's exactly the same.
It's like you're in the character creator and just hitting the gender swap button, swapping back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're a perfect fit together as a tag team as well. They just work. It just works so very well. And you're right. They gave Leah and Ricardo just enough to think that these guys might be able to pull off the upset, but then also kept themselves strong enough to think, oh no, these are the guys. Because you were right. They walked out and they looked like the stars.
Yeah.
They walked out and you're like, oh shit, they are somebody. And that's the one thing I loved about this card all up. And I know we'll talk about it like at the end of the review, but this to me was like, it felt like the perfect version of RCW's NXT, like an episode of RCW NXT. Watching this show as an entirety, and
I felt like it was.
Perfect example.
It gave me like Velocity vibes. Like it was kind of that next group of people that are coming up on the BC show that's only streamed.
Yeah, exactly. I really enjoyed it, especially like like an hour and a half runtime as well is just perfect for that type of a show.
It's so good.
Yeah, I enjoyed this match because like I said, they gave them just enough to make them seem they were legitimate, but then not enough to make the old guard look like they're losing a step or anything. Yeah, they still look very strong in the end. So yeah, bravo to both of like Dean and Violet and Leah and Ricardo really, because Leah is working. She's working Rampage now, and she's from Rampage, working RCW. I know she's trying to get to other places as well. She's someone who, like, when you see her, she's just looking to learn wherever she goes, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, she's putting in the effort. She's been over to the EPW summer camp. She's been up to you guys,
and you can see it paying off.
Yeah, it's working.
Just before we move on from this match, I want to acknowledge it again. I think the old guard might have the best music in Australian wrestling.
Oh, so
every
good.
time it hits, it's like goosebumps. It feels like, okay, here's the final bosses of Australian wrestling. Like it's perfect. I love it. Moving on here, and like we were talking there about how impressive it was that Sorry, Jeff.
Sorry, Lockie. Just before you do move on, I really, really like the commentary team on this show as well. I just want to mention them because Benjamin Rosenthal is obviously not as much a part of the old guard, and it seems like they're shifting their managers around a little bit to do different things with Gouda becoming a wrestler and with the commentator here. Just great. Just really worked.
Yeah, and just enough Batman references to keep it interesting, right? I enjoyed that a lot. Now
That's exactly what I was thinking.
We talked there about how they did a really good job where on paper you go, okay, I immediately know who wins this match. And yet throughout the match, they kept it interesting and competitive. And I think they did the same thing with the RCW Emerald Crown Heroes Trial, which was Sigma's open challenge for the RCW Emerald Crown. And this one was answered by Xavier Carter, a 17-year-old who's been coming up through the Mean Street Mayhem shows, who, for somebody who is still very young, looked $1 million here. And for all of the ways Sigma gave him an absolute thrashing, like some of that stuff was wildly violent, right? Like the was it like a power bomb style thing or it wasn't a power bomb, but into the like ring, past the ring post down onto the apron, and then picking him up at 2 counts to deal out more punishment. Xavier looked incredible in just being able to withstand that level of punishment and still come out for those hope spots. I thought that was fantastic. I thought Sigma well and truly getting the character across here of being like, I'm a good guy superhero in a way that is so obnoxious and, putting...
He's Homelander.
He's exactly Homelander in a way that the crowd fully gets, reacts to exactly correctly, right? And then he says all the right things and does all the wrong things. It's note perfect. If this is what Sigma's Emerald Crown title reign is going to be like, I'm really excited for it. Jamie, what did you think of this open challenge?
Yeah, also really enjoyed this one. At first I was confused by the Sigma character because that promo segment, the pre-tape before it, was very babyface. I was like, oh, he's the good guy. And then the match happens and I'm like, no, he's definitely the heel. I didn't get the Homelander thing until the match started to play out. And then I was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. I thought his promo was perfect. Because he was just like cocky. Like just cocky and oozing charisma too. Like normally, like you either big and strong and look great and then you can't talk worth a damn. Or you can talk the leg off a chair and you can't work. And this guy seems to have both things in abundance. Considering
why
what
they
his
have him
character
under
was,
a mask not talking for so long when he's got this in him?
Yeah, considering what his character was before, it's even more amazing when you think about it. I could eat that promo up beforehand with a spoon. It was just so obnoxious, so smarmy, so cocky, so like, yeah, call it that. I'd rather call it a hero's challenge because, I'm a hero. Love that shit. Absolutely love it. And of course he was going to destroy whoever was going to be. I'm surprised that they didn't pick someone who was like shorter, skinnier, tinier for him to absolutely maul. Yeah. But this kid, Xavier Carter, for being 17, man, if he sticks to it, he could be really good because he's in the right place to learn.
Yeah.
And to be this far along, I mean, there was obvious greenness when you're watching it from an experienced eye. You can obviously see the greenness there, but you can also see the diamond that's underneath it that just needs work. And yeah, loved it. The Sigma character now, I'm completely sold on. I love it. I think promo's on point. His work has always been really good, but now he's got a purpose for what he's doing. Like before, he was just like an unhinged sort of like the old character was just like an unhinged sort of like serial killer type. This guy has a calculated purpose for what he's doing, which I love. And I love that there's thought behind it. It's not just this is what I am and blah, blah, blah. There's like layers. I love that. I thought this was great. Great not only for, it gives like a young kid like Xavier a chance, but it also is a complete showcase for what Sigma is as a character. I love it.
And I love the little, like, the embellishments and sprinkles of flair to it as well. Like the entrance, getting the ring announcer to, like, do the cape wave.
Yeah.
I was like,
so
that's
funny.
such a cocky little thing to do. It looked great too.
Yeah, and then, like, just the pie face. Just, now, get out of here. Yeah, love it. Jeff, what did you think, mate?
Jeff, what did you reckon, mate?
It was, Sigma's one of those characters where I just go, fuck, I wish he was in Melbourne because I'd grab him for Brainiac. Like, how funny is the character, the presentation. Jamie, thanks for stealing my one thing about the ring entrance. I was going to mention that myself, mate. But just, a beautiful match. I think Xavier Carter has that little bit of Sami Zayn, Darby Allin type appeal in that he's young, but yet he makes you go, oh, come on, kid, do it, and Sigma doesn't put a foot wrong these days. Like, I don't think there was ever a point where that character wasn't great. Like, out of the box, the character was great and the work was great. It's just the fans thought that maybe he's a babyface. No, he is a great heel. I like the little touches, like, after the pin, the smug smile and smug look, and some really nice character work from Sigma. And look, again, this match clipped along at a good pace. Even though it was a foregone conclusion, as you mentioned, Lachlan, there was so much work that they did that made you believe maybe Xavier's going to upset it, but no, it was never going to be any other way. I think Sigma's going to have the Emerald Crown for a fair while. I think he's going to be a pretty good, act for RCW. I like what Matty Huss says here. He says Adelaide coming through with the goods. As it comes to young talent, such a credit to everyone over there. And it's free on YouTube. So, you can watch this at any time, Matt. Free on YouTube.
Because it is free on YouTube.
Yeah. Alex Feihart chimes in with, in hindsight, probably should have figured he was a heel, calling himself Sigma. Sorry, Todd, were you just saying how we're also free on YouTube? Yeah, we are now.
I just said I can't do another 500 of these.
Alex Fireheart, you're absolutely right. The only way we wouldn't have known the only way he could have been more of a heel is if he'd named himself Skibbity Rizzler. Like, at that point, you just go all in, right? Now, that's a character. Moving on here, I think this was fantastic. But the next match on the card, the new attitude of Mickey Fortune coming out and managing to get a win over Izzy Shaw, despite some miscommunication with Zach Sabbath, who came to accompany her to the ring after she was demanding that he get a chair, which he refused to do. But Mickey using an exposed turnbuckle to her advantage to get the win before the seeming final dissolution of the Kings of Ruin here. I've spoken many, many times about how highly I think of Mickey Fortune's work in the ring. Izzy Shaw more than held up her end of the bargain here. This was not a long match, but the amount of business that it got done in a short time was really excellent, and I think speaks to the really high level of work that all three people involved in this were doing. Like, absolutely fantastic stuff. Jeff, what did you think of this Mickey Fortune Izzy Shaw match?
Oh, look, I have a soft spot, particularly for Mickey. She's a great act. She's really, really good. By the way, Matty Haas has cracked the top shelf stuff tonight in honor of the 500th episode. He wants us to slow down with the live and free on YouTube. I've got a nice herbal tea myself. So it is live and free on YouTube, as we were mentioning. Mickey, I also really like Zach's work in this. His confused kind of, they are husband and wife, obviously behind the scenes, but they also play husband and wife front and center, which, the kind of confused husband seeing his wife's that he loves slowly slip into madness and evil doing. He's doing that stuff really, really well. And Izzy Shaw is a great opponent. Like, this is her first match back after a break. And she looked the goods. She looked really, really nice. I'm a big fan of this as well. Todd, what did you think, bro?
Yeah, you're right. Like, I like Mickey's hard edge. I know we don't really talk about her enough, but like Izzy Shaw, Izzy's been around for a long time, and she's such like it's almost like a journeyman type worker now, where like you're going to get a really solid match out of her wherever she goes, which is great. It's great to see. Love the harder edge on Mickey, because Mickey just by her style and her doesn't really lean into being a babyface. Like, it leans into being more of a heel. Yeah, exactly. So this is more up her alley. So it's going to be interesting to see if they lead to something where you have like Mickey and Zach in a match coming down the line, because that will be fun.
That's money.
Oh,
yeah. Because I know that nobody hits harder in matches than like your relatives. Like, if you've ever seen a live like Matt Basso, Chris Basso match, you'll know exactly what I mean. So I can't imagine how much harder a husband and wife match will be. You don't think there's going to be a little extra something in a couple of those?
A little extra mustard on those.
Little extra, why didn't you take the garbage out? Sort of couple of shots in there every now and then. Thanks for not getting up for the kid. One of those little shots every now and then. So, I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing like one of those matches down the line, because the two of them, like, Zach's an unbelievable worker, and Mickey is on par. So two of those in the ring together would just be a outstanding match waiting to happen.
And I think they could go either way. They could go Zach, going, you've gone mad, I'm going to fight you, or Zach going, maybe I should go that way as well. I mean, we've definitely seen a breakup of the stable, as the commentary team mentioned, but I think that, it really could go either way, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, I agree. I love the evolution of Mickey's character. She has such aura as soon as she stepped through the curtain. And I think heading down this sort of madness heel path, that's only going to intensify the more she works at it and gets to let that side out, let that side free. And Izzy looked great. Didn't look like she'd been away for ages. And Zach, his work on the outside of just like conveying the confusion and trying to pull Mickey back and like pull those reins in was brilliant as well. Everyone in this did a great job in 4 minutes to get so much across.
Yeah, it's incredible that they got all of that in that shorter time. And I think that's true of this whole show. Like, Todd said before, this was a 90-minute show to have 6 matches and a segment that sets up the main event and the promo from Sigma. And like, the amount that is on this 90-minute show is incredible. Like, it is hell for leather. And moving on to another example of that, the third match in a trilogy with Einar the Strange and Joe Master the Podcaster. Obviously, we love a podcaster here, right? Very fun to be putting shit on a white man with a microphone. Well deserved. And this was, Joe Master finally getting the win here over Einar, but in auspicious circumstances, as fitting with the Batman Forever theme. We had a little bit of interference from Chasm dressed as the Riddler, who, in a moment of just brilliant character work, when he had his umbrella stolen from him, produced a second umbrella. Right? Like, that's the goofy shit that I live for in wrestling.
Here's my big question, right? Like, the dude's gimmick is an umbrella, and he came out as the Riddler. Like, the Penguin was right there.
The Penguin was right there.
The Penguin was right there.
Thank you for saying it before I did, Todd. I felt like I was going to be called out as the nerd again, but Todd said it.
In my head, all I kept hearing is...
Maybe Sparty's only had the Riddler costume. They didn't have any Penguin costumes in.
Right. It's a tux. It's a cheap tux. That's all you need.
But yeah, I think that, this Einar Joe Master kind of trilogy got more interesting as it went on. And it felt like Einar was always going to be the dominant force here. But having them get an interesting path to a Joe Master victory, so he's got that under his belt in kayfabe, where Einar kind of doesn't have to take it hard as a loss because Einar clearly now is on the path to Chasm, I think was really clever. I think it suits these guys well. I will say to Einar that I have the same problem with him having the axe that I do with Triple H. I think as soon as you bring in a weapon of a certain caliber, if you're not literally killing your opponent, then it's obvious that you're not doing everything you can to try to win, because look at what you're holding. You could just kill him right now, right? So that always rubs me the wrong way just a little.
That's also a crime.
It's
very illegal.
Disqualification. Not only do you go to jail, you lose the match.
Lachlan, believe it or not, in wrestling, you need to suspend your disbelief. You need to
and when the wrestlers work with me to help suspend that, it goes a lot better, right?
They've got to work with you. They've got to work with you.
Specifically
there we
work
go.
to Lachlan's
that says it all.
brain.
When wrestlers work with me to suspend.
The Lachlan standard specifically, yeah. Yeah. Todd, I'll pass it to you. What did you think of Joe Master and Einar the Strange?
The Joe Master character, for someone who doesn't have a podcast, he's got a great set. So I don't know where he got the set from, but the set he has when he does his promos, really good. Actually had me envious. I'm like, oh, I wish I had something like that. I enjoyed the match. I like how they played to the character that Joe's... It's almost... It feels like they're doing a takeoff of Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Like he's just a podcaster coming to be a wrestler. He doesn't know what he's doing. But then like of course he trains, so he still has a clue what he's doing. And as the matches go on, he's progressively getting able to show that he can do more than what he's supposed to. But then being like the booking team being smart enough to know, well, we can't just have him win, so we're going to have him bring in other people to help him win. Which I think is a very smart move. And also, like, when it comes down to it, Einar and Chasm can really go off and do some, like, hardcore shit. And it's fine. It's really not up Joe Master's alley when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I thought it was really good. A good way of getting Joe Master a win over Einar, but then Einar doesn't really lose anything from it. Yeah. If you know what I mean. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff?
I like this a lot as well. I think that Einar is a bit of a special act. Like, he doesn't seem to be on every single RCW show. So it feels
kind of... just come back.
Oh, right.
He was on a break for a while.
Well, that explains it. But yet, as you said, Todd, he loses nothing in not being victorious within the match because
in the manner he lost.
There's enough stuff to go on with to extend the feuds, not only with Joe Masters, but as you said, also with our Riddler friend outside the ring. I also loved a little bit of the umbrellas. I don't think he's got the right build to pull off the Penguin. I kind of rebutted that.
Oh, it depends which Penguin. If you're talking Gotham Penguin.
As Rothy mentions, presumably going more on the Batman Forever theme, since Two-Face and the Riddler were the villains there. So you've got, someone doing Two-Face, someone doing Riddler.
Yeah. And a Ranger in the corner. I thought this was really fun. I like both these guys so much that like they could run this back and I'd be quite happy. Joe Master is quite new, but still the gimmick's great and it's fun. Like the one thing about this show is it's so much fun. Cracked along at a good pace. I'm happy. Jamie?
Yeah, I'm totally expecting the next Joe Master podcast to just be him absolutely getting super arrogant, super cocky, talking about how he beat Einar, and then that will obviously lead to maybe someone coming to Einar's defense. But I think that the standout for me was Joe's selling in this. He looked dead and buried until Chasm came out and distracted Einar, and then he looked up and went, "Oh, I can just roll him up here," and got the victory that way. I thought that was so well done. He was getting killed. They might as well have used that axe on him because he was dead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, I think all around, and again, for all of that to get done within 7 minutes, right? The pace of this show really shows that everyone involved knows how to structure a match to get to the points they need to get to have good back and forth, and then get their points and get out. I am so impressed by, the pace of the matches, but also how much they do in the amount of time they've got. And this is a great example of that, I think.
Yeah, you don't need shows to be 3 hours long.
Exactly. No. And they got through all of the little storytelling points of the match. There's the nonsense about the shirt, where the shirt gets ripped. All of those things are still there, and it's still done in 7 minutes. Great stuff. Moving on to the main event, 6-person tag action with the team of Haley Hendricks and Party Hard, Banjo Powers and Party Guy Ty, managing to get the win over SWAT 1 and SWAT 2, and Katie Trey. We've said before that Katie is so good that after having that title run, he is just now somebody who, the match with Katie is an important part of the show. He doesn't need the title. He's got the gimmick down. Things can revolve around that. Again, whoever SWAT 1 and SWAT 2 are on this particular show, I have no idea if they are consistently SWAT 1 and 2. My guess would be no, because you can just put anyone who needs the match experience under those masks and you're good, right? So, whatever we can say in particular about those guys, this match may not be the same people who we've seen before, but consistently, that team has been good. Banjo Powers and Party Guy Ty obviously so know what they're doing, and Haley Hendricks has such a cool style and clearly the crowd's support, right? The pops that she's getting are fantastic. There is an element of, even I'm not somebody who knows a lot of the ins and outs of wrestling, but you can see when Haley is moving to the next spot to get ready and then going into that spot. That is a thing that works itself out with time and with reps, right?
Yeah.
That's just the nature of
thing too.
I was about to say it's a very
they have their set moves.
Yeah, she's like a second away from going, okay.
Yeah. Ready? Okay. Yeah. But I think that's going to work itself out over time and lead to Haley Hendricks being a really top shelf performer. The fact that she is so small plays in really well when you've got a guy like Katie who's just going to go, and I'm going to physically dominate you and look like an asshole doing it.
He's a very good bully. He's a very good bully. And I mean that in the nicest possible way when it comes to like working as a heel. A very good bully when it comes to that. One thing I did really enjoy in this is I remember watching her at 300, and she did the spot where she stands on the guy's shoulders and then dropped down into I think it was a Rana.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like on this show, she stood on the shoulders
dropping
and dropped down into the DDT.
Yeah.
That's the one I would go for all the time because I thought that looked so much better than the Rana. So much better. That was one of those ones that made me sit up because I was like, oh yeah, she did it before. She'll do the Rana. Then when she turned it into because it just looked more impactful.
Yeah, that's a finishing move.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, keep that spot in for sure. That was so good. You're 100% right. Banjo and Party Guy Ty, the two were the two workhorses of that thing because that's what their role is in that match is to get all the meat and potatoes in that match so Hayley can come in, hit all of her spots and look amazing doing it and get out of there. Katie, I swear to God, is like we need a little girl to get over here. How can we do that? Put her with Katie. He did it with Amber, and he's doing it with Hayley. He's such a good worker, and I know we don't talk about it enough because he doesn't really travel. But I figured if he traveled and got around to more places, there would be way more people talking about how good he is because he's such a well-rounded performer now. And I love the way he comes out and always does the rear stomp just as a shit stir.
Yeah.
When he comes out. I love that.
The thing that I always think, when you see Katie is like, where is the space to improve for someone like Katie? And I don't know what it is. Like he's got every tool it's all there and he utilizes it. I think he's fantastic. Jeff, what did you think of this as a main event?
Oh, look, I really like this. The character stuff was good. The interactions were all really good. Part of me wants to see a SWAT member develop a crush on Hayley because I just think the comedy within that would be so nice. Like you wouldn't know which
really
SWAT
hard
member
to sell.
it is that develops.
It's really hard to sell that mask,
just sort of.
That's the problem.
It is, but you know what I mean. Just like looking at her on the ring and tagging in and tagging straight out and stuff like not wanting to hurt her and stuff like that. And I think Hayley could have fun with that as well because I think her character ultimately is a great character. You're right. She does kind of walk from one move to the next, but that was the same criticism I had of Bianca Belair a few years ago, if you guys remember. She used to do the same thing, and look at her now. She's regularly in the match of the night whenever she's wrestling. I agree with you, Todd. Katie Trey, there's something really special about Katie Trey, and he could fit in as a villain into any number of stables. He could fit into the Icons. He could fit into North Shore Wrestling. He could fit in with some of the villains over there in the East, like DNT and those guys.
Just a strong character.
Just terrific.
Strong character.
A great character and really, really good on the mic. Backs it up by being great in ring. There's nothing not to like about this main event. And I actually think the right team went over because Katie Trey just needs to go out there with a mic and he gets booze like that.
Yeah, you don't lose anything with Katie.
I love to in that promo too. It wasn't just I'm going to send her to the hospital. I'm going to send her to the women's and children's.
Mm-hmm.
Like that little extra touch. Because I'm going to send her to the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, it enhances the violence of it, right?
Yeah.
It's so
and makes him
mean.
more of a dickhead.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. I'm little.
Yeah. Jamie, what did you think of the main
human
here?
being.
Are you though?
Yes.
Coming from a Jamie-sized human. Jamie, how did you like the main event?
Even before the main event, I thought the promo segment at the start was great too because it made Hayley even more legitimate too to set it up this way. It wasn't just on paper, we're going to chuck her in there with Katie. She had that promo segment that then led to this, which elevates her a bit more. But I thought the pairing of her and Party Hard is just like a match made in heaven as well. She fits in so well with that team. They could trot them out constantly and it wouldn't feel abnormal.
Yeah, the only hard part about that is that it's basically just reheating Violet Blitz.
Yep.
With it. That's the only hard part about it. Like a perfect fit, you're right. But it's just hard because they've done that a couple of years ago.
But like the advantage of having Party Hard, right, is that they are really over baby faces who are also great experienced hands in the ring who know what they're doing. They can get the crowd on board really easily and they make the other person shine. Like any young baby face is going to benefit from having them standing next to them.
Even if they just have Haley doing single stuff, but those guys coming out to support her, not so much like doing trio stuff over and over again.
Yeah. Do you know what it's like? I looked at the card and I'm like, Jesus, there's no Basso. There's no like Hater.
Yeah.
There's no real top line like main guys when I think of RCW anyway, from back in the day. And this show was just
didn't miss them.
For someone who's been around, especially around like the development of RCW for as long as what I have, it's still, and I it's probably a perception point on my part because like when I was there, Katie was a rookie, Izzy was a rookie, like Dean Brady was a rookie, and now like seeing them being able to lead a show and carry a show so like effortlessly was really, it's just great to see the evolution of like Riot City and where, especially where they're heading with who they've got on the card now that are coming up and considered their rookies and their next gen. So, and I said at the start that this felt to me like an NXT RC Dub show, and I loved it. Like this is one of those ones where like if this was a show, I could watch it every week.
Yeah,
you gave me an hour and a half of this like every week, I could watch it quite easily because it was easily watchable. None of the matches went for too long. They didn't overstay their welcome. They didn't try and do shit that they couldn't do yet, but they thought was cool because they saw it on a GIF. Like, do you know what I mean? It was just like they were just smart. It was the whole thing was booked and executed smartly. To down with the promos, to the pre-recorded promo with Sigma, everything I think hit the straps perfectly for what this show was meant to be.
Yeah, I put this on last night thinking like I would only get about halfway through. And then before I knew it, I was like, oh, I'm at the main event. I might as well finish the show now.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like you're talking about, Todd, not only do you not have, your Bassos and you don't have your, Armstrongs there, like those experienced guys, to the extent that you don't even have Angus doing the play-by-play, right? And it makes it feel like we're utilizing all these parts of the roster. But then on top of that, you also don't have a lot of those guys who are the quote-unquote next generation who are coming up, right? Like, look at CBTM. They're not on the show, right?
Yeah.
And admittedly, like, they're your champions, but we just did have a transition of a lot of those belts onto the younger guys, the up-and-comers, and it feels like they're not even, exhausting that whole pool of talent to put on a really excellent show. Like, I was just so impressed with this and with the level of quality that was there, not only from the guys who were the, quote unquote leaders of the match, but by the young people coming up and by just the quality of the composition of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I completely agree. I think it's really nice that RCW have a focus on the younger roster as well. It's not just like you acknowledge that the Bassos weren't there and that the Hater wasn't there and that there were a few others, you would expect to be there that weren't. But yet the focus on the younger people, and sure, they didn't win every match, but you wouldn't expect them to, means that RCW always have one eye on the future. And that's damn smart. We said, if you remember, we said that there was an EPW show, I think it was about 18 months ago, where Dave Storm Davis was relegated to the pre-show, which he was quite happy about. He was actually really happy because of the influx of young talent. How long until one of the Bassos is on the pre-show? That's a question worth asking. Probably a long time because they own the company. But you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Look, the quality of RCW every time we watch it is through the roof, and this is just another example when you can have a Mean Street Mayhem show themed to a 90s Batman movie and top to bottom just have all of it be excellent, in and out in 90 minutes with 6 great matches and a bunch of segments. Like, what is there not to like, especially when it's free on YouTube?
Yeah, I want to see one that's themed around Dead Poet Society and have all wrestlers standing on desks as Mr. Cliff is leaving going, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." Just because that would make me laugh so fucking hard. And judging by this reaction, all three.
Wasn't the last one like themed after a scary movie or something like that?
Yeah, it was. It was a scary movie. That's great.
Yeah. Like if they keep doing those for those Mayhem shows, that's great.
Because that's the kind of thing that'll bring people in. They'll go, "Oh, that looks like fun. I want to see that." And it gives great exposure to these wrestlers who are putting on great matches, right?
And it makes these shows different from their main shows.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're kind of a bit sillier.
Whoever is actually theming these and thinking about this stuff, really well done. Well done to whoever it is.
And it just goes to show like how great it is to not even the big shows, every show that is going on in Australian wrestling, there's something wonderful to find in it. So we'll give a special shout out to Michael Lee at the Australian Wrestling Community Facebook page, who does a great rundown of these Aussie wrestling shows. And this weekend, again, it's stacked. In New South Wales, there's 5 companies that we're going to talk about here. Wrestling Go is having their 9th birthday party on Friday, August 15th. Then on Saturday, August 16th, 4 shows going on. Newcastle Pro Wrestling's Breakout is on Saturday, August 16th, as is Australian Wrestling Superstars The Rematch, as is VCW, Vulcan Championship Wrestling Australia, with Bonnie Rig Bash, as well as Pacifica Wrestling Federation's Tribal Warfare 2, all on Saturday, August 16th. Up here in Queensland, Wrestling Allegiance Rockhampton, War is putting on their Millennium Rumble on Saturday, August 16th. Also on Saturday, August 16th at the Coolangatta Hotel, PWA, Pro Wrestling Australia from Sydney, has wrestling at the Cooley. I'll be there. If you're coming along, say hi to me. And I assume, Mitch is wrestling, so Todd will be on that show too. So come say hi to Todd, No, Todd with a shake of the head. Really.
I'm not booked, Harry.
Okay.
You should read that more, Lachlan, before you put your foot in Todd's mouth.
Right. All right. Well,
Sure. Okay. It happens. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Sometimes some promotions don't understand what a manager does, and that's cool. I completely understand.
Interesting. But Mitch is going to be on the card anyway, wrestling.
Mitch is definitely going to be on the card. Yes, Mitch is definitely wrestling Tuckman.
And that'll be a banger match.
That'll be a banger. In South Australia, ACW Adelaide Championship Wrestling's Redemption is going to be on Saturday, August 16th. Also on Saturday, August 16th in Tasmania is Tasmanian Championship Wrestling's Second Coming. If you are in Victoria, you're probably not going to get along to Alpha Pro Wrestling's Thursday Night Fights if you're listening to this live, and if you're listening to it like recorded, then it's probably already happened. Like
incredibly late.
Yeah,
incredibly late.
But you can still check out
the show listening to us.
That's possible.
True. That's true.
You can still get to Alpha Pro Wrestling's Energy and Obsession because they are on Saturday, August 16th, as well as Lucha Fantastica's Circus Show Melbourne, which is on Saturday, August 16th. And if you're over in WA, EPW, an absolute, stalwart of
the big show of the weekend.
Right. Hell or high water. Let's check out this card, right? You've got a schoolyard brawl for the EPW Coastal Championship with Rogan Kargas versus Mr. Thompson, right? You've got Davis Storm one-on-one with Bruno Nitro, and if you're paying attention to Davis Storm at the moment, not many more chances to see him wrestle, and so going one-on-one with Bruno Nitro, that's going to be unreal. You've got the EPW Tag Team Championship on the line with the Pulse versus the Purveyors of Potential. Then we've got 2 matches in the final, in fact, first round matches of the EPW Invitational. Over in the B block, you've got Jesse Lambert versus Mikey Broderick. And in A block, Solomon Blackwell versus Gavin McGavin. Shoot that into my veins. And then the main event with the EPW Heavyweight Championship on the line, the champion James Hartness, the challenger Hayden Zenith. Talk about 2 guys who have, consistently shown that they are absolute workhorses, that they deserve to be at the top of the card, and they're going to put on a hell of a show. What a card for EPW's Hell or High Water this Saturday.
You know what I really like? I like that Hartness is clearly booked as a tweener. He's clearly booked as somebody who he doesn't care who you are. He'll take you on and he'll defend that belt. And I love that. After a few years of champions in EPW who are clearly either firm baby faces or firm heels, we've got Hartness, who's looking incredible, wrestling amazing matches, coming along and just being a straight, I don't care who you are, I'm going to fight you. Wonderful. Yeah. Great work, EPW. I applaud that.
This is another one of those cards where you look at it and go, no Damian Slater, no Marcus Pitt.
Yeah.
And it still looks awesome.
It looks amazing. Yeah. I'm really interested in both of those EPW Invitational matches. They're going to be great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like Solomon and bloody
Gav.
It will absolutely.
That's going to be a clinic.
From a technical standpoint, that will steal the show.
And from a character standpoint, Lambert and Broderick on the other side,
against one of the cornerstones of Australian wrestling in Mikey Broderick. Wow, that's going to be great too.
Yeah, and so that's happening at the Cannington Exhibition Centre and Showgrounds this Saturday, the 16th of August. Make sure you get along to that if you're in Perth. If you're listening to this and you're in Perth, I assume that you've already got your ticket. It'd be crazy not to.
I hope there's probably not many left.
That's probably their last show before they do the October show the Sunday of the WWE weekend. So you definitely want to see what they're setting up there.
Meanwhile, in Victoria, in only a couple of weeks' time, MCW Vendetta is coming up. So this is happening on August 30th. You've got an MCW World title match that's just been announced. Caveman Ugg's challenger for that title is going to be Eli Theseus, coming back from the US straight into a big-time match there. You've got an MCW women's title match where Erica Reed is finally going to get that rematch against Eugenie. You've got MCW tag team titles on the line with Water Rapids, Mitch Waterman and Ryan Rapid, defending against 2 teams, the team of Lucas Fantasia and Lucky O'Leary, and the team of the Natural Classic, Stevie Philippe and Tome Philippe. You've got a number 1 contendership match for the women's title with Aisha and Shay Cassidy. So good to see Shay Cassidy getting that, Melbourne experience there, and against Aisha as well. You've got one-on-one Tommy Knight and Robbie Thorpe. There are some big boys. You've got an MCW Intercommonwealth title match with Adam Brooks defending against the Tuck Man, but with special referee the Clydesdale. And you've also got Edward Dusk cashing in that opportunity to get the match he wants, and it's one-on-one with Rocky Monero. There's only standing room tickets left, so make sure you head to mcwtix.com.au, that's mcwtix.com.au, and snap up the last of those standing room tickets before they go. Jeff?
You know what's really interesting about this card? Where's Jarvis?
Where's Jarvis?
Jarvis.
Whenever Jarvis isn't on screen, all the other characters should be asking, "Where's Jarvis?
Where's Jarvis?
Where's Jarvis?" No, but seriously,
have you seen Jarvis?
Have you seen Jarvis?
How is Jarvis?
No, but this is
Jarvis.
This is really interesting that Jarvis isn't on this show because he's one of the hottest acts in the company. It's still selling amazingly. And he's going to do something. You'd be surprised if he doesn't, right?
Well, I mean they got, 6-7 matches already, mate. He's like...
Yeah, I'm not
special guest appearance. I don't think they're doing an AEW to us.
I'm not necessarily talking about a match. He's going to be
interesting
somewhere.
stuff.
He's going to show
Dun
up.
dun dun.
We do want to shout out a lovely message that we got today, though, from the wonderful Michelle K. Hasluck, saying, "Big congrats on hitting the huge 500 milestone, WRA. Fun fact, Josh Armour was the first guy to give me a radio interview many years ago, and I'll always be really grateful for him doing that. Thanks for the chats and bants and info on Oz Wrestling. Looking forward to the next milestone for you guys." Michelle, thank you so much for that message. We love what you're doing. It's so nice to hear, you know, those people who are in the wrestling community who appreciate what we're doing, because at the end of the day, we're doing it, you know, for the love of the game. It's because we love wrestling here in Australia that we've gotten to 500 episodes, you know. It's so cool. And I wanted to just before we go to the break, give that shout out to Todd for, you know, inviting me on and, you know, making chicken salad happen, because I remember being a fan of Wrestle Radio Australia myself, right? I was sitting there listening every week to Todd doing the interviews and, you know, stuff like that mental health special he did that was
slowly,
you know,
burning himself out.
But like that mental health show came at a really important time for me, you know, like everything WRA was doing that I was listening to as a fan, I think was awesome. And then, you know, making chicken salad started as Todd went, well, we want to talk more about I want to talk more about international wrestling. Can't just talk to myself all the time. I want to talk about WWE and AEW. Will you come do it with me? And I said yes. And the fact that I've gotten now to do it every week for like 4 years is incredible, right? It's been an absolute blast. The fact that we're, you know, hitting 500 overall for WRA is such a great milestone, and I'm so proud to have been a part of it. So a big thank you to you, Todd, for that. But I think...
Well,
but
sorry, mate. Go on.
Let me also add in my thanks. I really appreciate Lachlan being here sometimes. No, I'm joking. I really appreciate the work that you've put in, Todd, and the fact that you've, you give me something to look forward to every week. I really look forward to this, to the four of us all, you know, chatting away about wrestling, and the occasional guest appearance from Nick Galea and some of the other people that poke their heads around the door. And it means a lot. You know, I get people coming up to me at shows, not just as part of WrestleBrania, obviously, but also part of Wrestle Radio, and you know, workers come up to me. Workers come up to me and credit me. Yeah, we'll have a message there. Workers come up to me and thank me for some of the things I've said, and it makes it easy for the other side of things. Like, it makes it easy for me to approach people and go, hey, you know, do you want to come and do the show? And then someone will come and do Brainia and actually thank me for some of the stuff we've said. In particular, people like Mr. Cliff and Dick Cheese will come up and kind of go, hey, thanks a lot for, you know, putting us over a little bit. We really appreciate it. And all these people in the chat, like all these people, Alex Fireheart, Bloody DJ, Roddy, the very drunk Matt H and Cooper and everyone else. It's wonderful. And some of the workers that come into the chat as well. It's really appreciated. Thank you, Todd, because you're the guy that kick-started it.
No, well, yeah, Josh. I'll never forget Josh, but yeah, Josh and I definitely. Josh was definitely the driving force for the first couple of years, put it that way, because I was off busy trying to be a booker and a manager and all of that sort of jazz as well. But before you throw it to the break the way you do all the time, Lachlan, we did get a few messages in from people, so I thought I might play that first before we go to the ad, just so you guys can, because you don't see this, guys, but as soon as we hit the ad break, it's like 3 clouds of dust just disappear from the side of the screen. Because
I'm drinking tea, man. The toilet's cold.
So we'll play this quick messages from a few people, and then we'll be back to throw us to the break.
Hello, Wrestle Radio Australia. This is the old man, but young man, undeniable Bobby Bishop. Undeniable, the name that was actually coined phrased by Todd Eastman from the show. I just wanted to say congratulations on your 500th episode. I mean, you guys are actually killing it this year. You guys have done so much for us, spotlighted people who wouldn't normally get noticed around Australia, and then now they're getting noticed. kudos to the work you guys have done. You absolutely deserve your flowers this year, and I'm very, very, very happy that you guys are still going.
This is Ref Pat getting ready to celebrate 500 episodes of Wrestle Radio Australia.
Trent O'Day here from the Queensland Wrestling Alliance saying a massive congratulations to the Wrestle Radio Australia team on 500 episodes. Yes, Todd, even you. I could tear you down, but that's not a game we play. That's a game you play. Congrats again, guys.
Hey team, it's Dad here, Rocky Monero, just raising a glass and saying cheers to the team. 500 episodes, Wrestle Radio Australia. You should be very proud of yourself. Just wish Joshy was here to see it. Cheers.
500 episodes of Wrestling Radio Australia. Oh my gosh, I am so thankful for you guys and your continued presence in this space, your knowledge and passion for Australian wrestling, your willingness to educate me on Australian wrestling, and quite frankly, advocacy of Australian wrestling is making the scene a better place for it. And on top of that, you're just...
Sledge, Adam Brooks, just reaching out to congratulate the crew of Wrestle Radio on 500 episodes. That's pretty sweet. Thanks for everything that you do for Australian pro wrestling, promoting it, getting it out there. We really appreciate it. Have a good show, dudes.
Wrestle Radio Australia, it's your good friend, the Godfather of Perth Wrestling, Davis Storm. Just wanted to congratulate you boys on the 500th episode. Keeping Josh's dream alive. You know, this podcast started to try and help spread the word of Australian wrestling. And after all these years, you guys are still out there fighting the good fight. Bless you. Here's to another 500.
That's so nice. So much love there from a lot of absolute icons. So what lovely stuff. That's very heartwarming. Look, the way we've gotten to 500 is... Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. One of the ways we've gotten to 500 is doing this show, Making Chicken Salad, every Thursday night here at twitch.tv/Wrestle Radio Australia. And as I mentioned, you know, Todd started this with me with the view of, you know, getting to talk not just about the wrestling that's happening in Australia, which of course we absolutely love. And this show very quickly became about Australian wrestling again. Like even when the original plan was, we'll just talk about international stuff. We couldn't help ourselves.
Well, you know why though? It's because Australian wrestling came along in such leaps and bounds that we were able to watch a new Australian wrestling show every week and review it, which is just that. Like honestly, that's the best thing that could have happened to this show is the fact that we got to talk Australian wrestling.
And the truth is, in my time since being here, I think we've had a total of 8 weeks without a show. I mean, certain elements of us aren't here for every show. Jamie is not here intermittently. I'm certainly not here while comedy festival's going on. Todd takes an occasional week off. Lachlan takes an occasional week off.
Todd takes a very occasional week off.
When I need a tan.
When he's tan and he's got the week off.
When I'm tanning, that's when I have the week off.
Or you're sitting there before the show going, "No fucking internet," but
pouring Coke all over himself.
Okay, all right, okay. Trent's the only one that hates me, not you guys. Shit.
We do.
I don't know why. I've been nothing but nice to him.
500
yeah,
minutes.
You can fuck off, Todd, but we like the show. I get it.
I really think that the fact that Australian wrestling has not just stepped up, but is equal to and sometimes better than what we're seeing from overseas speaks volumes about all the companies around Australia. Every single company around Australia that we review and we put on our show, they're stepping up. They're providing great shows on a regular basis. And most weeks in the chat, and this is what people watching and listening don't know, is we actually have a discussion and put polls up. And they're like, this week I had to put a poll up going, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Because we don't know. We just don't know.
The thing too, like the fact that Australian wrestling has come along so far, it makes it easy for guys like me and guys like Jamie to talk to Kate and say, hey, Australian wrestling's really good. Check this show out. Or check this match out. Or check, you know what I mean? Like just this week I had someone, I can't really talk about it, but I'll roundabout as I can. Just this week, I had somebody from a important media part of Australia message me and ask me about the Australian scene. And so I sent them a show just going, check this out and tell me that this isn't the production value that you would see on, that you guys would make. So, and I'm only able to do that because that's what the promotions are putting forward now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I did a guest spot on a wrestling trivia show last week, and one of the questions came up of, I think it was, at the end of the show, it was a tie. And then I was like, oh, well, I've got all of these Australian trivia questions that we can do as tiebreakers. And that led to promoting RCW 300. So now OLE are going to review the RCW 300 show tomorrow morning on their show. So it's cool to put Australian wrestling forward and not feel ashamed that we're putting forward bad shows. Like, we are putting forward world-class shows every week.
Yeah, you're not putting forward a show and going, oh, they're not going to like that match, but they'll like this match.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
hope
I mean?
they watch this one good match. No,
Yeah.
the whole match is great.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
It's not enough. It's not enough just to watch us and talking about it. If you've got an Australian wrestling show near you, particularly the likes of EPW, RCW, PWL, Wide Bay, yeah, I'm putting you over, Todd, and you, Ranger. But if you've got PWA, MCW, Renegades,
I think he's just getting free with that word now. Really free with that word.
I am, aren't I? Put money in put your hand in your pocket and plunk down $20. Go join the standing room and enjoy. Just lose yourself in the beauty that is Australian wrestling right now, because it is fantastic.
And we're going to keep, talking about all of that incredible Australian wrestling, but we are also going to do, what this show was started for. We're going to look at everything that's going on in WWE, at Triple Mania that's coming up, at Triple A, at AEW, at, Forbidden Door coming up, the G1 Climax, which is closing in. We've got all that stuff to talk about, so we are going to do that right after this.
And for those of you still around, what I thought I'd do, because I didn't have a lot of time to get together the normal things I get together for the bad break, because I was busy up at Wide Bay last weekend, and then when coming back, had to cut together like the highlights package from that weekend. So I just thought I'd play the highlights package for our ad break, and we'll be back right after this with more Making Chicken Salad Wrestle Radio Australia. You think after 500 episodes, it'd be better doing this? See you soon.
Turns around, hold me in your arms tonight.
Welcome back to Making Chicken Salad, the Wrestle Radio Australia show, where we talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling. Todd, what's on your neck?
Oh, I got told I had to wear this by the girls at the WRA. I won an award last show at the WRA.
Yeah, I saw that.
2024
Very
match of the
well
year.
there. Yeah, match of the year. Yep. That's he's
Sorry,
a hell
I
of a
laugh at that myself.
wrestler, our man, Todd Eastman.
I laugh at that myself. I was like, no.
Although
I'm
I
done
do believe, well done. I do believe that you also won another award for everything that you do up there, Todd. Because as we all know, Todd's a man of many talents. He wears many hats. He works very hard. So we all appreciate all you do, Todd. Let's
I'm bald, so wearing hats is kind of the gig.
Let's talk about WWE first of all. Another head-to-head battle between WWE and AEW could be on the horizon. Post Wrestling reports that according to multiple sources with knowledge of the company's event schedule, WWE is slated to hold a main roster PLE on Saturday, September 20th, the same day as AEW All Out. What? The yet to be announced WWE show will be in Indianapolis. The AEW pay-per-view is taking place from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Cena versus Lesnar is the rumored main event for that WWE show. The addition of another main roster PLE fills a gap on the WWE schedule. Previously, there'd been no September PLE. Clash in Paris is happening on August 31st, and then Crown Jewel in Perth is set for October 11th, so it does fill that gap quite nicely. Jamie, are you absolutely shocked and flabbergasted to hear WWE's putting on a show on the night of All Out?
No, I'm kind of shocked that it's a main card show and not like a Saturday night's main event or an NXT show.
They don't get a control over what the... Like, Saturday night's main events, I don't think they actually get a control of the dates for those.
Yeah.
The NBC just tell them what their dates are. I think they're going to call the show Fuck You, Tony. I'm pretty sure that's what the show's going to
Might as well. And apparently they're looking at moving Cena's final date to the same day as World's End.
Yeah, I heard about that as well.
Do that. That's crazy.
Well, look, here's the thing. Like, AEW have always wanted to be... Yeah, I know. I'm not going to do it. I haven't got time. AEW have wanted to be competition or wanted to be known as competition to WWE. WWE now treating them like competition, and they're upset about that. I don't get it. You're getting
I don't
treated
know
the
if
way you want to be
AEW's
treated.
upset. I think the fans are upset.
Yeah,
I think AEW are just like, screw it, we'll just put on a great show.
And do you know what, though? And it's not even the fans. It's like a small group of like aggregators.
It's the tribalism stuff. It's the AEW like hard and fast. This is the only show in town. People.
Yeah. Nicolia says, being honest, we've all made fun of AEW at some point, but the shows are getting so much better. I'd take AEW as the preference, to be honest, except if you're paying $50 to watch them over a PLE that's on Netflix, which you're probably already paying for.
Yeah, it's a bit rough, isn't it? Nicolia says tribalists, people who think they can only like one and nothing else. Yeah, absolutely. Like,
you got to think too, like, I've sort of changed my mindset on the whole tribalism thing. It's not even tribalism. It's like they make money from these posts. Mm-hmm. So they're going to lean into doing this more. It wouldn't even matter. Like, I don't know if half of them believe the shit that they say, but they know it's going to get a reaction. They know it's going to get clicks, and clicks equals money for them. So they're just going to keep feeding that beast. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, Twitter monetizing their feed was a terrible idea.
Yes, 100%.
Wild Angel says fans seem to forget that we can watch replays if we can't see it live, and the tribalism. Beetle Bailey says, why not both or all? Yeah, like, there's so many shows.
Well, to be fair, All Out goes all day, so you can't watch both on the one day.
Yeah. Maddie Huss says, pretty sure it's less that WWE feel that AEW is actual competition and more Triple H being the high school jock and trolling AEW. I don't even know if it's that. I think it's smart business to try to beat your competition, right? Like, if they're someone competing with you in the market and you have opportunities to lessen their market share, that's what you should. In fact, not only should you do it, you kind of have to do it legally to make your stockholders as much money as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
McDonald's and Hungry Jack's are both in food halls all around the world, or Burger King as they are in other places. They're competition to each other.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a shame, but WWE going to WWE. I think we've all seen examples of that. Roddy Online, I chose Lucha Underground, and now I'm not allowed to watch anything anymore.
Yeah, Roddy Online said, no, wrestling is like footy. You pick one and you're stuck with it forever. Roddy chose Lucha Underground and now not allowed to watch wrestling anymore. I'm right there with you, Roddy. Man, I've watched season 4. That's how deep I am. Nick Galea saying competition improves the shows. There's enough fans who prefer one or the other to sustain both. Neither have to fail.
And I think that's the thing. Like, the fact that it's kind of leaking out now that they're planning to do this, that all-out card is going to be bonkers.
It's nuts. It's nuts. It's quite probably Tanner's last match in the US as well. So think about that.
It's not technically the US, is it?
Well,
in North America.
North America.
North America. There you go.
Wouldn't Forbidden Door be the last one? Or is he's doing All Out?
Forbidden Door's in London.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is he doing All Out?
He'll probably do All Out. Sorry, he's in London, yeah. I keep forgetting Forbidden Doors in London.
In other WWE news, Karrion Kross and Scarlett say they're accepting bookings following WWE contract expirations. On top of that, apparently AEW have not reached out to Karrion Kross and Scarlett at all, potentially because they believe that it's a work.
Kross was on Ariel Helwani in the last few days and said categorically, this isn't a work.
Yeah. Or they just don't want him.
Or Don Callis works for AEW.
And
that's also a problem.
Yeah, that's also
that could be an issue, right? So, like, there's a lot going on here.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. There's a lot of conversations going on here. Keanu Reviews says Cross back at MLW would be better. Don't necessarily disagree. You know, like, there's a lot of potential in Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and clearly there's an audience for what they're doing.
Listening to as much of that podcast as I had with Ariel Helwani, he wants to be back in WWE.
He does.
Yeah.
He wants to finish his career there. He's an older guy. He wants to finish his career there. There's a wonderful Instagram post he put up, a reel, where he gets a phone call from Kevin Sullivan, who basically says, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Look at you. You look incredible. You can go in the ring. What the fuck are they doing? Matty Huss says he would gladly stump up the cash so someone can book Cross versus Dusk. Matty, do it. We'll review it, and everyone wins. You heard it first. Matty Huss is going to pay for Cross versus Dusk. Thanks, Matt.
Macho Man Andy Savage did say, I'm enjoying the online movement co-opting hashtag We Want Cross to stump for Lena being signed.
I did that.
I did that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jamie, I can't say it yet, but you're my chicken salad this week, bro.
Nick Galea said it's the mistake of someone getting themselves over instead of what the company wants. Yeah, Long Island iced Killer Cross right now. Keanu Reviews saying...
I wonder if they just send him to AAA under the Killer Cross name, because then he's technically still under the WWE banner. But not
even if he went to Impact for a while, TNA, for a while, because let's face it, the reason they left is not there anymore. He's in AEW.
Keanu says it's he can't bump and his matches aren't great. That's what Keanu's seeing people say. I think that his matches are they're not 5-star classics, but there's nothing wrong with his matches. He puts on entertaining matches.
Yeah, they're WWE matches.
They're WWE matches to a T. Right?
They would look wildly out of place on an AEW card.
Yes. Right? But again, I don't know if he does that exact same style if he's in a different company. Like when he was with Lucha Underground, that wasn't the style he was working. You know, when he was doing the bunny thing, there was significant
when he was in AAA,
difference
that
there.
wasn't the style he was working.
right? So he's definitely adapted to the WWE environment in a way that people are like, oh, I don't like that style that he works. And it's like he works the WWE house style. That's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
he works the style.
Nicolia said, yep. Nicolia says if they present Cross like he was in Bloodsport, I think that has a place. Like, yeah, absolutely. Alex Fireheart says, given how much...
I understand he, like, the way he said it in on the podcast was like, they gave him a number, and it wasn't that he was unhappy with the number they gave him. He just wanted to know how they came to that valuation so he could make an informed decision. And they never came back to him with why.
Yeah, they just pulled the figure. They pulled it from him completely, which is a bit, like...
weird.
Shitty move.
Yeah.
You've got 24 hours to sign your life away, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to know, because... And I'm not trying to defend the guy, but I think there are a lot of things that go on in WWE that Hunter does not know about. Like, he didn't know about the whole shoot angle thing with the Sam Roberts thing. Like, Hunter didn't know about that shit and was mad at him until he said, I was told to do that. It was like, he goes, well, nobody tells me. Nobody told me that.
I really like what Nicolia said here. He's 6'4" and 120 kilos. Maybe he doesn't have to go at 1,000,000 miles an hour to have a place in wrestling. Absolutely. I really liked his series with Sammy, except the final match was too short. I thought it was a really nice series of matches, and both came out looking the better for it. Sammy was clearly trying to get crossover as much as he could. And the end result was, we're going to let him go anyway.
And I also understand, like, Cross's point of view where they only offered him a contract.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, they said they were going to look after her after they'd sorted his contract out.
Yeah, no, but, like, you can understand from his perspective. Yeah. I don't want to sign a contract and then my wife gets nothing.
Yeah, he just thought that it'd be done together like it was last time. I completely understand everything that he said. He's very heartfelt in that interview and very, like, straightforward. He's like, I'm not working you right now. I'm not in character. This is me talking. This is Kevin talking.
I also would not be shocked at all if at this September 20th pay-per-view or Triple Mania this weekend, Killer Cross shows up.
Yeah. Yeah, very possible. Cool. Alex Fireheart says, given how much merch he apparently was moving by the time his contract lapsed, I'd be surprised if he's gone long. Alex also says, I mean, apparently Cross told them like 6 months in advance he wanted to re-sign and got crickets in response. So I guess if this is legit, it's a long time coming then. Yeah, and, you know, like that shoot interview happened weeks ago, right? And that was about frustrations with where he was at, and people knew the contract was coming up then. So I don't think it's.
But it wasn't a shoot interview, though. It was a
worked shoot.
Yeah, that documentary thing. But...
Yeah. Moving on to the shows that WWE has coming up. First up, Triple Mania is on this Saturday, August 16th, with a commentary team specifically designed to make the internet hate it. That's JBL and Corey Graves doing the English commentary. Wowza. And it will be on YouTube.
Why do you...
Why would people hate that? I think that's a great team.
Why do you hate that? Yeah, I think that's a good team.
I think that most people will hate one of those commentators at least. I hate JBL on commentary. I hate his commentary.
Been doing stuff with AAA.
Yeah.
I know, but he's bloody atrocious.
He's been doing stuff with AAA. Corey Graves' brother Sam Adonis has been in AAA for how long? He would be a wealth of knowledge in there as well. I think that's going to be great.
Graves has been fantastic on commentary for AAA especially.
Graves has been good for WWE as well. For Monday,
I think JBL not produced by Vince, you might actually not hate.
That's very possible. That's something I didn't consider.
At least it's not Conan.
That's very true. Speaking of Conan, he's going to be inducted into the AAA Hall of Fame by Rey Mysterio at Triple Mania this Saturday. What were you going to say, Jeff?
I was going to say that personally, I really like Conan as a commentator. Can't quite tell you why, man, but, you know, he really did good stuff.
Let me tell you something. There was Also on that Triple Mania card is going to be the Copa Bartel Battle Royale. There's going to be a triple threat match for the AAA Reina de Reinas title with Lady Flamer defending against Fabia Pache and Natalia. There's the AAA Latin American title on the line with El Messias, one of my favorite workers, defending against Il Io del Dr. Wagner Jr. There's also a street fight for the AAA tag team titles with Los Garza versus the team of Pagano and Psycho Clown. There's a mixed tag match with the Judgment Day in the form of Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Raquel Rodriguez versus Mr. Iguana, Nino Hamburguesa, and Lola Vice. And then in a four-way match for the AAA Mega title, El Io del Vikingo is going to defend against Dominic Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and El Grande Americano. I think it's very interesting the way that the top of the card especially leans WWE again for a Triple Mania, not just a Worlds Collide show. And it does happen all the way down, even with Natalia in that match there. You've got Los Garza champions, you've got Judgment Day, you've got an almost all WWE Mega Championship match. You know, the only match without kind of WWE mainstream representation is El Messias and Elio del Dr. Wagner Jr. And Wagner Jr. is so WWE main card bound in the future. It's ridiculous.
They
Kind
also
of the
sold
whole
that
reason
place
they
out.
purchased AAA, I think.
that building is sold out too, which I don't know has happened that often for AAA for a long time.
I think
It's actually got me interested.
I'd like to see the Bloodsport version of Natalia here as well. I think that'd be really, really good.
Yeah, get her in the black singlet.
Yeah,
like let's do it. You know,
amazing.
Yeah, so that's happening this weekend, and then in a couple of weeks, WWE's got Clash in Paris. That's on August 31st. So far, those matches that have been set are Seth Rollins defending his World Championship against Jey Uso, LA Knight, and CM Punk. A Women's World Championship match with Naomi defending against Stephanie Vaquer. But, oh no, Naomi injury. What could happen there? It's going to be a match between John Cena and Logan Paul, and a hypothetical WWE title match that hasn't been confirmed yet, but likely seeming that it might be Cody defending against Drew McIntyre there. How do we feel about this card shaping up?
Yeah, shaping. It's like this.
Yeah.
I don't mind the Seth with Jay. Like the weird thing is somebody was just like, they go, I know why LA Knight's there. I know why CM Punk's there. I don't know why Jey Uso's in that match.
From the last time they were in Europe and the crowd went bonkers.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm talking from
the business reason versus the kayfabe reason, right?
Yeah, it's like LA Knight has pinned Seth. Sure, it was in that knee thing. CM Punk sort of deserves to get a rematch for the title, but was Jay?
Because it was a cash in. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Maybe we might even see Roman and I nearly said Jonah. Bronson.
That'd be good. Tribal Chief versus Tribal Thief. I'd love to see it. Let's look over at the other side of the aisle now with AEW, and the current TNT champion Kyle Fletcher will be in AEW for the foreseeable future after signing a new multi-year contract with the company this past spring. Not a shock here. Fletcher is continuing to give 2009 Randy Orton. He seems like an absolute tentpole for this company going forward. You know, like AEW likes to talk about the four pillars, or they used to like to talk about the four pillars, but they are establishing a new set of guys that they're building the company around, and Fletcher seems like one of them for great reason, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's no irony that AEW. It's no irony that AEW has improved the more they're putting Kyle Fletcher and these new younger guys on TV, and I think it's really good. It's really good. He's such a good worker. You know, you said Orton in 2009, but a lot of times Orton in 2009 was lazy and had bad matches. Kyle Fletcher does not. I can't remember the last time. Even like you throw him on a collision match and he makes that collision match great.
That's he's Orton. Who cares?
Lump. I'm still very concerned about that lump on his head, though.
Yeah.
He's got that looked at.
But yeah, like it's AEW like focusing on the people that want to be there and want to make the company great. Like Sky Blue had an interview this week talking about how everyone in that locker room, and like she wants to be there to carry that women's division forward. And Fletcher's the same. Like he's happily going to be. He will do whatever
Fletcher
the
wants to
company
carry
needs.
the women's division.
The TNT and men's division, but like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
the kind of guy that is like
fight. Oh, sorry.
Give me the ball, I will run through a brick wall for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's what they should have been doing from fucking day dot.
I know. They had that little period where they're like, oh, sign every ex-WWE guy.
Yeah,
half
put
of
our
them
belt
don't wanna
on
be
Chris
there.
Jericho.
Yeah, exactly. And let's run with Chris Jericho for fucking ages.
Well, you know, I mean, that's why they've warmed Kyle Fletcher up so much, so Jericho can come back from whichever the hell he's in and beat him.
Don't put that in the
dream
universe.
that in. But like, look at the people who, you know, over in the women's division, like Tony Storm has been the star of AEW for a while, really, outside of, you know, Osprey and Omega. Like, people always talk about Tony Storm. She's main eventing on repeat. You know, like, it's these people who came in not necessarily right at the start, but came in hot, went, I want to be world famous as champion in this company, showing that wrestling is great. And especially Aussies. Did you notice that? Very
I was going to
interesting.
say, what we're saying is they need to just sign more Aussies.
Speaking of Aussies in
We want
AEW, Buddy Matthews is undergoing surgery to finally take care of the ankle injury that sidelined him since February. Initially, Matthews was hoping that the injury wouldn't keep him out of action long. He was targeting April for his return, but the ankle didn't heal like he thought it would. Matthews said in June that there was no mobility to his ankle and he wasn't able to move properly. The injury happened at February's AEW Grand Slam Australia event when Matthews was making his entrance to face Kazuchika Okada. He still continued on with the match despite being hurt. He did not break his ankle, but he suffered ligament and cartilage damage. Like, you know, I'm really, very obvious. But that is one of those dudes who it's such a shame that he isn't getting the chance to be showcased because of an injury. That sucks.
Yeah. Especially at this point of AEW where they seem to be, like we said, leaning into guys that hadn't really like been getting like guys that have been wanting to be there, and the next crew of people. Yeah. And that's what I think Buddy would fit perfectly into.
But saying all of that, we want him well. We want him healthy, and surgery will make him healthy and well, and he'll come back and be amazing, and everyone will pop, and it's great. And you know, Buddy, Matt, I know you occasionally listen to the show, and I hope you're all right, man.
And yeah, he's had the surgery. He did post the other day. He's had the surgery.
Yeah, he's had the surgery.
Thankfully, he's on the road to coming back now.
Yeah.
Really glad to hear that. So, as we mentioned, Forbidden Door is coming up. This one's on August 24th. It's like every weekend there's something to watch coming from the big companies. My goodness. New Japan Pro Wrestling champion Zack Sabre Jr. is going to defend against the winner of the four-way match that's happening on Collision this week, because we all know that the biggest matches take place on Collision. That match is going to be Hechicero versus Lee Moriarty versus Daniel Garcia versus Nigel McGuinness. So it could really go absolutely any way, couldn't it? Like, really unpredictable.
I tweeted about that this week, and to me, it just it shows me how much AEW don't really overly value New Japan as a partner.
Yeah, there's no respect for New Japan with that match.
No, not at all. Not when, like, we know obviously it's going to be Nigel McGuinness who's going to win this thing. You would think. Like, logically, you would think. But I look at Hechicero, Lee Moriarty, and Daniel Garcia, and I don't think world champion challenges.
No.
I think TNT challenges. I think Ring of Honor pure title challenges. I don't think a world champion, like, you're supposed to put in like your A-list guys in this thing. And like, even if they'd have done this, like if they'd have held off fucking advertising this lights out steel cage match for a week or so and thrown like a couple of those guys in that match, like a Claudio,
put Darby in there.
Claudio. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, something like that. But it's like, I look at that
and there's
like,
no
okay,
world
so
where they
think
put
of it as
McGuinness
a
in this
title.
match not to win, right?
Not against those opponents.
It's also I kind of feel it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if Nigel McGuinness does win this, the other three characters in inverted commas, are really in trouble because they're beaten by a guy who wrestles very, very rarely, is not in constant ring shape. So it's that fucking dumb thing of, we're bringing in a part-timer to beat three people that are all really good and then face ZSJ.
In a four-way match, you can get away with it. In a four-way match, like Gouda can win a three-way match because shit happens.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you can get away with it. Like if it was like an elimination match, and he had to go through the three guys like a fucking gauntlet or something like that, I'd completely be on board with you. Like, what are you doing going through these fucking?
I know
But
what
it's
you're
a
saying.
four-way match. You can catch a flash pin, fucking like say it's Darby Allin's in the thing, and then like the Death Riders take him out of it during the match. There's so many different ways you can do it.
Yeah, and Alex Fireheart, though, with a great point. I'd take any of these guys over them randomly having Jack Perry answer Sonata's open challenge.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, great point.
I think even if they put like Jack Perry in this match, it would have made more sense. Because at least he has a New Japan connection and been like, I'm coming back for that title.
And they would
My
have
point
found
is
him.
also, okay, say McGuinness does win, which is likely. We've all acknowledged that. It's just not good for Zack Sabre Jr. It's not going to create a match that people will not think for a second that McGuinness can win. Because what's he actually won since he come back? Almost nothing.
Yeah,
He hasn't won anything, I don't think.
And
that's
it's
not what they're
diminishing.
after. They're just after the headline of the match.
Yeah, they're just the two Englishmen pop.
Yeah,
Exactly, but it's
In
a
London.
diminishing law of returns now. It's the
But-
same as a lot of stuff.
But
when
it's
you
still
bring
not paying.
older people-
In my opinion, it's still paying no respect to New Japan as a partner.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
It almost would have been better if Nigel
We're
called
not going to
out
let
Zack.
we're not going to let anyone from fucking New Japan challenge for the AEW World Championship, and we're going to give you our TNT title level guys to challenge for your championship.
And Keanu Reviews is bang on. ZSJ needs a good run this time too, and this isn't going to help it.
No. And
I
agree
will
with
say-
you as well. I
Yeah,
kind of like the idea of McGuinness being the old guy with the puncher's chance. It's not a bad storyline, but it still feels second rate for ZSJ himself.
Yeah,
I think the match itself will be good. It's just
The match itself would be
lead
good.
to
Just
it.
get it.
The
Yeah,
match
I
would be
just
great.
think it shows no. Like I said, I just think it shows no respect to New Japan as a partner.
No.
Can you imagine telling yourself in 2012 that Bryan Danielson would have retired twice and Nigel McGuinness is wrestling on a Wednesday night show?
On a fucking Wednesday.
On a fucking Wednesday.
Right.
No, not even on a Wednesday, brother.
It's a sad day.
It's a Saturday.
Not even on the Wednesday show. Jesus.
on the B show.
AEW. All right, coming back to what's coming on in Forbidden Door, the AEW World Champion Hangman Page is going to defend against MJF. We've also got the AEW Unified Champion Kazuchika Okada defending against Swerve Strickland. We've got AEW Tag Team Champions The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, defending against the winner of the Tag Team Title Eliminator Tournament. We've got
Going
Adam
to be
Copeland
FTR
and
or what's their name?
Outlaws?
Brodito.
Oh, no,
Brodito.
Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are teaming up to take on Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. We've got AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm defending against Athena in a match that's going to be brilliant. TBS Women's Champion Mercedes Moné is defending against Alex Windsor, Persephone from CMLL, and a Stardom competitor TBD. TNT Champion.
Oh, she shows up in a lot of things. She's apparently she's an intergender wrestler because she's wrestled both males and females in AEW. Let me tell you that.
She's up there with Vacant in terms of
she's dating Vacant.
Yeah, that's right.
Open
TNT champion
cage
Kyle
team on a
Fletcher.
pay-per-view for the first time since 2001. I mean, that's kind of nice. And they're gonna
Also, against a
make-
guy that wasn't even born when they had that match.
Yeah, but you know what? A week ago, Copeland was calling him a fucking idiot who hasn't learnt a thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got TNT champion Kyle
Anyway.
Fletcher defending against Hiromu Takahashi. And there's also going to be this,
That would be
as we
good.
mentioned before, it will be good. The lights out steel cage match with Darby Allin, Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Kota Ibushi taking on the Death Riders, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Gabe Kidd. It's a big match.
Well,
Can Matt and Nick Jackson
we talked
take
about.
a break, fuck off again?
You mean was it Mr. Instant Replay and
Slick Nick?
Slick Nick? Do you know what though? We talked about this off air. This was going into it, but as I looked at it, like it's fucking worse. You've got Will Ospreay who like 3 weeks ago said, "I'm taking a break for a while. I don't know what's wrong with my neck. Hopefully I'll be back by Forbidden Door," and he's back in a cage match.
Lights out steel cage match.
Yeah, you've got Kenny Omega who just came back from like life-threatening fucking that with his intestines. You've got Kota Ibushi who couldn't walk a fucking 6 months ago against John and Claudio
and Tanahashi.
Gabe Kidd had to pull out of the G1
tour.
Yeah, Tanahashi's on the retirement tour. Gabe Kidd had to pull out of the G1 because of injury.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
This is going to be a match that relies very heavily on the Young Bucks and Darby.
I like that we
Darby
listed
are going
off.
to have to carry the crap out of this match.
I like that we listed off all of those people, and the one that I have seen the most physical injuries for is John Moxley, because he's bled 3 liters of blood seemingly every week for the past 6 months. Like,
Claudio can do a lot. I guess Claudio can carry.
Yeah, but who's he going to? It's going to be Claudio wrestling Darby Allin wrestling Moxley, Claudio, and the Young Bucks. They're the only people that are fucking healthy.
Just Claudio
Darby will just
giving
be
Darby the big swing
in
for
a
20
giant
minutes.
swing for like half an hour, and then Claudio will drop him, and somehow Darby will pin him. I mean, that'll be the match. That's it. Book it.
Tanahashi has just come off the G1 as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Wild Angel in the chat nailed it. Never thought I'd not give a shit about a cage match with that roster.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. On paper, you're talking, like, again, imagine 10 years ago showing that lineup to someone and going, this is going to happen in a lights out steel cage match. Like, they wouldn't know who Gabe Kidd is, but other than that, like, all stars.
Alex Firehouse says, this feels like a match that should have been held off until all out. Or just not taken place, Alex. Let's be honest. It's just,
Yeah, you can also
If you're gonna
not do
do the-
this. That'd be great.
If you're going to do the Tanahashi retirement tour, put him in there in a one-on-one. Let him actually do his greatest.
And I love that all they've
Fuck
been
the
doing
crowd,
for the
not-
past, all they've been doing since the pay-per-view is shitting on the Young Bucks, but they put him in a high-profile match.
I did love John Moxley's little promo when he found out that they got Hiroshi Tanahashi for that match. It's like, they got who?
If you really want to take away everything from the Young Bucks, you take them off main event status. You make them jerk the curtain for 4 months. It'd be funnier.
Put him on
make him do
ROH
0
for
hour.
a month.
Make him do 0 hour.
Yeah.
Let's, speaking of the Tanahashi retirement tour, let's talk about what he's doing right now. The G1 Climax, we've got an update because it's time for the playoffs. Shota Umino and Yota Tsuji are going to face off on August 14th. And the winner of that match will face Evil on August 16th, because you know who should be winning a block at this point? Evil. Meanwhile, in B block, Konosuke Takeshita and David Finlay are going to face off on August 14th, with the winner of that match facing Zack Sabre Jr. on August 16th, which means that for B block, the only person who may have correctly predicted the final is Jamie, because he had ZSJ versus Takeshita. Nobody else has a possibility on the board for their B block final.
Jamie's final is Suda and Finlay.
No, I'm saying like B block final.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. Yep, sorry, my bad.
Right? Like, the only B block final that can come to fruition is that one. None of our A block finals can happen because none of us picked Evil. I wonder why that is. Right? Like, huh?
Do you know the one thing that I like? I was so hoping against hope for Forbidden Door. You know when they say like the mystery opponent who was going to like challenge Kyle Fletcher. I was just hoping it was going to be Master Watto.
I
would have just
almost
popped
wish it was.
huge.
Look, the Watmeister. Don't know what they're doing with him. But no, they'll put Evil in.
Yeah. Well,
The other reviews saying Evil and House of Torture are over in Japan, though. No, they're really not.
No, they're not.
That's the thing. They're just really not.
Yeah. And like the fact that Alex Fireheart said Evil is a top homegrown heel, he's always going to place well. I don't necessarily think that that's true. When he had a title run that Snow didn't deliver, and he hasn't done anything since.
I think he's getting go away heat, not we hate.
Yeah. Oh, Alex Fireheart also says Takeshita won that match, by the way. So
neat.
will
Thanks,
face
Alex Fireheart,
Jack
for the
Sabre.
update.
Oh, that'll be good.
Cool. So Jamie got a prediction. Hooray! So the other prediction possibilities that still can come true are Jamie's prediction of a final being Suji versus Finlay, and Jamie, Jeff, and I all predicting that Suji would be the overall winner. Notably, Todd Stradamus over there, a confirmed 0. So
Mate,
that's
you can't,
a relief for us.
You can't bet 1,000, all right?
You gotta watch more New Japan,
You
man.
gotta listen to Dad. You should
Oh,
listen more to the old man.
You can't bet 1,000, all right? Like sometimes I get it wrong, and most of the times I get it right.
Let Todd. He knows his stuff. Maybe we should listen to him more often.
Okay, just not this year.
Okay.
Sure,
Right. Okay.
sure.
I'm choosing to move on, and we're going to move on to what this show's named for, and that's our chicken salad and our chicken shit. We get to talk about all the things we loved and didn't love in wrestling this week. I'm going to pass to Todd first of all for some chicken shit. No?
Don't pass to Todd straight away.
Okay. Let's pass to Jamie for some chicken shit. What didn't you like in wrestling this week, Jamie Apps?
Well, we kind of touched on it. Evil should never be near the top of a G1 block. What the hell happening there? But the main one I had was another torn ACL, PCL in the Performance Center. What the hell are they doing down there?
Rizzo.
Like,
I just think
it feels like every month they're like, oh, this person has blown their knee out. And it's always the girls.
Yeah, but it's also the girls that have been doing gymnastics and shit for 20 years.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're fresh into the business and they haven't done anything for, like, there's been a lot of wear and tear on all of those athletes. Like, you look at any injury report for NFL and constantly everyone goes down with knees and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. They got the best trainers in the world. They got the best training in the world. Like, a knee will snap.
That's just...
Yeah, it just goes.
Zari is not next on that list.
Crossing every
Shut the
finger.
fuck up!
She's fine.
Touching the wood, touching the wood, touching the wood.
I'm touching all the wood, but she's got strong knees.
You heard it here
Like,
first.
So what?
folks. Jamie out.
What does that mean?
Have you seen her
Gross
legs?
Australian.
They are powerful legs.
Dig up.
Jeff, chicken
Dig up.
shit. What have you got?
Oh, Evil. Just fuck off. Just no. Just no. We don't like... I put it in the chat that's absolute bullshit right there, and I hate it. I absolutely do. This has been one of the most maudlin, horrid G1s. And it's because Evil's getting a push beyond what he deserves, both as a wrestler and as a character. House of Torture are not over. Literally, people in Japan are going, oh. It's not boo, it's oh. And they're Japanese, so they're very polite as a people. But this is horrible. We
It's a
don't need it.
Respectfully,
Just watch any House of Torture match. It's the same shit every time.
Yeah.
And yeah, crowds are booing it
It is.
because they're booing the booking. They're booing what's going on in front of them. I'm just appalled. And if it winds up being ZSJ against Evil in January, I'll feel fucking sick. Let it be Suji. Come on.
Matty Huss with the right chicken shit, which is Jamie jinxing Zarya. Damn it, Jamie. My chicken shit is going to be I'm done with nostalgia booking. I'm so done with it. Okay? We didn't need the Goldberg run. We didn't need Taker and Kane versus DX at Crown Jewel. And we don't need every tag team that was involved in the WrestleMania X7 TLC match to be having a match on pay-per-view this month. Are you kidding me? What they killed themselves in, what was that, 2001? Was it?
Well, you know, because I saw you googling it when you saw you googling it when you were talking.
I wasn't googling. I was trying to find the matches coming up, so I had something to complain about because I couldn't remember. 2001. I've mostly been positive this week. 2001, 24 years ago, that match happened where they put their bodies through hell, and it's 2025. And all of them are getting booked, not because they're still great in ring. Like this, don't get me wrong. There are people from that match who can still go, right? They, most if not all of them, could well have wrapped it up by now. And it would have been fine. And there would have been plenty of spots filled by other talent who could have put on great matches. I don't need to see old people wrestle anymore.
Keanu's just chimed in with, but both teams mean a lot to TNA and WWE are not going to do it, so might as well be TNA. Not if people get injured. See, I don't think Lachlan's concern is seeing them. Yeah, look, great, fine, whatever. If your mileage may vary on this, but if any of those four guys get injured, it is completely unnecessary. Devon Dudley can barely move, and he's doing a match. He's doing a match. Jeff Hardy is inconsistently crazy, and one of those injuries that are eventually going to catch up with him, and God forbid it's in this match.
Yep.
Matt Hardy at least knows his limitations, and fuck knows what Bubba Ray Dudley's trying to do. I don't think saying, at least TNA.
I think Bubba Ray can work. I think Devon's the one you need to be worried about.
I think Devon's the
the main
weak link in that team.
He is the main concern.
Bubba, I'm not worried about Bubba at all. I still think
Bubba will do his thing
because Bubba's smart enough to know what to do and how to go. How Bubba
basic
goes.
Stuff.
Yeah, and I think he's because I think his psychology is so very good. It covers for a lot of things about him getting older.
And I also think out of the six guys in that match, he's probably the one that worked the smartest during that time about what he was taking. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably carried through. Keanu mentions Devon said he's doing DDP yoga. I mean, DDP yoga is incredible. It can't work miracles. Alex Fireheart.
But we don't want to see Lex in a ring either.
Mm-hmm. Alex Fireheart said chicken shit for me is just finding out how WWE didn't even tell the press directly that those post shows were canned, and they had to find out halfway through SummerSlam Night 1 because someone asked a PR person after some rumblings. My goodness. Maddie Hutt.
Technically, they found out through a Slack message from their bosses at the website that they worked for.
Yeah.
That said, there's no press conference. So you're just sitting in the press box for no reason.
Matty Huss's chicken shit said he
hide
thinks
that
it
one,
will
will
be
you?
the same
God
as
damn it!
Todd.
Why are you going to ruin mine?
You're the one.
Why are you going to ruin mine?
No. So I'm sending it to you, Todd. Stop yelling at me and let me host a damn podcast. So I'll send it to you.
Excalibur.
500 episodes of this kind of entertainment. Why would you watch anything else on a Thursday night?
Let him segue. Let the boy segue.
Matty Huss said he's pretty sure that his is the same as what Todd's is going to be. So, Todd, please tell us what your chicken shit is.
Yeah, that was cool. But then you were going to actually put the whole fucking thing up. It's the fact that you were putting it up on screen instead I was going, don't do that.
Because you're the one who put it up on screen the second time.
Yeah, because I was trying to take it off after you put it up. God damn it. 500 of these fucking things. 500
just changed to Lachlan.
Yeah. I had hair when this thing started.
500th and last.
I had hair when this thing started. My beard was dark and luscious.
I look forward to hosting from next week.
Todd, what's your chicken shit?
I forget. No, yeah. No, he's 100%. He's right. There was a podcast that came out last week, and I think they followed up again this week with some more of it because he got the views. So it's pretty much just tearing apart a couple of Melbourne promotions, which, like, there are ways you can criticize. Like, we criticize things here. I'm not going to ever back away from the fact that I do criticize certain things here. And it's not about yucking someone's yum, as Matty does say in his comments, but it's about doing that in a mean-spirited way. And this is what this podcaster did, because he knew what he was doing. A, he was being a dick, and B, he knew it would get him views. And it did. So, like, first of all, for this dude doing it, I possibly wouldn't be criticizing a company's graphics when you use AI to do all of yours. Just saying. And B, like, you can say all of this stuff about all these people, but they are trying hard and they are working hard to put on shows. And it might not be the level of show that you like. And I understand that. Hey, I don't like them either. This is why I don't talk about them. Because I don't want to do it. Because if I can't find a few things that are positive about it, I'm not going to talk about them. I'm just not what I do. I like to give a bit of sugar with a bit of with a bit of a whack, because that. And also the ones that this person talked about, there are people that work for that company that I just wouldn't talk about at the end of the day anyway. I don't want to be a part of talking about those people, is what it is. But you don't have to body shame people directly. You don't have to denigrate what they're doing. They're like, one of the ones he talked about was Peak Pro Wrestling. And we talked about it when they first came out because the actual idea of their first show interested me. It was called Black Tie Brawl.
Mm.
And then when we saw the footage of it, it wasn't really anything different. It was just a normal show in a tent. So that was when I was like, well, that's not what I thought this was going to be. I don't want to talk about it. Then when I saw who else was on the show, I'm like, well, I'm definitely not talking about them. So it's the same reason why we don't talk about another company that are in Melbourne that decide to like to eat light tubes. We don't talk about them because we don't like them, and we don't want to promote them. Perfectly fine if anyone wants to go and watch them. I have no problem with that. Go and do what you want to do. I feel for Don, because I know Don is a really nice dude.
That was great.
I don't hold anything on Don. The other guy though is, I feel like he said what he said the week before because he just wanted to cause a few waves. He saw how many views the video got because people were so upset about it, and he thought, awesome, I'm going to do that again. And that's why he did it again. And then everybody fed into it, because guess what you all did? You all went to watch it again, or you went to listen to it again so you can be outraged. Just don't watch it. Don't listen to it. Guess what? I don't like those shows. I don't watch them, and I don't talk about them. I don't... you literally feed into what he wants to do by listening to them. I'm purposely talking about it by not saying his name, or mentioning his whatever the podcast is called, because I don't want to give them anything. I'll talk about what happened because most of the people know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say what their name is. I'm not going to say who his name is. I'm not going to say what the podcast name is. For that fact.
Yep. And Matty Huss is right on the same page as you. Said, pretty sure mine's the same as what Todd's is going to be. Podcasters don't need to be yucking people's yum in mean-spirited ways, and especially don't need to be dunking on behind-the-scenes people who are giving their time and effort. A really insightful comment here from Nick Galea, who said, I've actually been to a Peak show. It's not my thing. But in reality, it's young guys from credible wrestling schools getting reps on shows that are 90% friends and family. Yeah, they're not exactly the gold standard, but at the same time, it's basically harmless. And you know what's definitely harmless? A show that you don't go to. right? If you're not there, it's not a problem. And if you're not giving it the oxygen, it's not a problem, right?
Mm.
And like
Yeah,
Nick
he
D'Elia again,
specifically said their name to give them shit. He specifically said their name to tear them down, and to like. I thought the name like a cooked. I can't remember. It was like the cooked C-bomb tournament. I was like, well, that's fucking dumb. Didn't talk about it because why would I do that? Like, do your thing. I'm just not going to promote it.
Yeah. Yep. No, just ridiculous stuff. And then Nick D'Elia said one of their friends, one of their good friends, went to one of those shows we don't talk about and had a blast. We can not like that company and still be super happy for that person's positive experience, right? Like that's the thing that it comes down to is we can say we're not supporting a particular company. And like we do on this podcast, there is, and like credit to Michael Lee from the Australian wrestling community who puts those massive lists together of every show that's going on. And we mention most of them, right? But there's some shows where it's like, we don't need to give that the oxygen, right?
Yes.
And it's the same thing that happened to this guy is that he's gone on and gone, oh, people are paying attention, so I'm going to talk more and give more people shit that doesn't need to happen.
Yeah. The fact, because I went back and looked, and I looked what his average views are, then I looked what his views are for that show, and I was like, he's going to keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because
Especially
bad news
two in a
travels.
row that got good news.
Bad news travels quicker than good news. It always has and it always will. People always want to hear the goss, but they don't want to hear the truth.
Yep.
And they would rather hear.
We had that when the stuff happened in Queensland, and we had that show talking about it.
Yep.
Views spiked, and it's not because of something we wanted to have to talk about.
And
It's
you
just
know,
something that
you
came
guys
up.
know behind the scenes, I wasn't happy that they did.
Yep.
I literally said to you, I hate the fact that we got more ears on our product because we had to speak up about something than when we're actually trying to promote good things in wrestling and people don't pay attention to them.
Yep.
At the end of the day, that irks me.
Yeah. And Nick D'Elia, again, absolute gold from this man. End of the day, talking shit on people for the shows they go to isn't going to magically make everyone go to MCW, for example. It's just as likely to make someone think wrestling is full of dickheads and swear off the entire live wrestling thing altogether.
Mm. See, that was the thing. Like my whole thing about these quote unquote bad wrestling shows is that I'm worried someone will go to those shows and think that all wrestling is like that. And so they won't give other promotions a chance. That's my biggest fear. If I'm just being 100, that is my biggest fear, is that someone would go to a show, especially like speaking from my own personal experience, a show that I promote up in Wide Bay, if somebody went to another show up in that area and thought that that was my show, I would be embarrassed because I don't want people to think that wrestling represents what our product is. Because it's
several years ago, I went to a show, and I'm not going to say who, and I'm going to be very careful when I say this, but one of the characters in the main event was a German, and over a live mic, someone said, "Oh, we may as well throw up a Sieg Heil for the German suplex." And I personally, as someone whose family suffered through World War II, was very, very offended by that. And I wrote a message to those people and said, look, this isn't good form. And I basically got thanks for being in touch. We're really glad you enjoyed the show. Bye. I basically got dismissed. Now, imagine if that had actually put me off Aussie wrestling. It's not an experience I've ever spoken about, apart from with the two mates I was with that night.
Yeah.
And it didn't put me off Aussie wrestling, and in fact, it didn't put me off the people behind the show. But it's still not something that I think it's something that this kind of stuff it's so easy to offend people nowadays. People just need to be more careful and share what you love and be positive.
Yeah, Nick said that. Share what you love and be positive. There's shows I don't like, I don't talk about them. That's 100% right. But it's also true. It's also very important that we do call out some shows when they do certain things. Like it's very much a balancing act. Like I'm talking about calling out shows for the important things, not for, hey, your graphics look shit.
Yeah, or hey, I didn't like this show. Like Okay.
You can say I didn't like. You can
Someone
say
else
I didn't like the. You can say I didn't like the show, but give me reasons why you didn't like it. Not this is shit. Those guys are fat. This is blah blah blah. This is blah blah blah. Like if there are plenty of shows that I'll watch and I'm like, I didn't really like that show, but I will find things and I go, this was good in it. This was good in it. I can see how they can be better. I just didn't like that show.
Yep. Nick Galea again pointing out that people will understand the difference between a $20 ticket to a small venue in a backstreet in Brunswick versus a $40 ticket to the Thornbury Theatre. Like they can work out the difference there. You know,
they can, but if you're a company that are trying to grow and are only charging $20 a ticket and are still putting on really good shows, they're not going to be able to tell the difference between those two shows, are they?
Absolutely,
really,
absolutely.
And like I speak this, Nick, from personal experience.
But like speaking of, you know, there are companies that are putting on really good shows at low prices all around. There is so much good stuff happening. So let's pivot. Let's talk about the fact that we're not just talking chicken shit here. There's chicken salad as well in the world of wrestling, right? So let's close the lid on this one and move on and do some more positive stuff quickly. Jamie, chicken salad for the week?
So it's kind of on that sort of theme as well. The Metroplex Wrestling all-women's show that they put on over the weekend, run by Athena. They got some great buzz coming out of that show, which is really cool to see an all-women's show like that getting promotion, getting people like Mercedes showing up and legitimizing that company of like, oh, if she's here, everybody should be watching the show. So Mercedes showed up, Nixon Newell showed up. So very cool to see a women's show getting that buzz online, which you don't always see.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff, chicken salad?
I have to compliment the WWE and one performer in particular, and that performer is Bailey. I'm finding her character at the moment extremely interesting. The whole veteran losing their confidence, and the whole, is she actually going to sort of take the easy road at this time, or is she going to maintain her credibility? That's really interesting storytelling, and she's doing a great job of it. I'm really pleased to see where that goes.
Yeah. For my chicken salad, I typically try to avoid just making it a show that we watched and did the review on. But my goodness, I am so hyped on the RCW Mean Street Mayhem 61 Mayhem Forever. What a bloody show. The fact that it was 90 minutes of great wrestling, of fun storylines, of characters getting across, of young talent getting to shine, that's free on YouTube. Like, I don't have a bad thing to say about this show. And in a week where a lot of wrestling has been, you know, I've been getting frustrated at seeing all the carrying cross discourse. I've been getting frustrated at podcasts, you know, all that stuff, to then just go and watch a really enjoyable wrestling show that made me remember, like, oh, I bloody love wrestling, you know?
Oh, yeah, wrestling's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, right. A quick chicken salad from Nick Galea was between IWTV, Triller, and YouTube. There's so much good stuff out there and readily available. There's really no need to watch stuff you don't like. Yeah, exactly. Right?
True.
Fantastic stuff. I'll pass to Todd next. Todd, chicken salad?
Well, if you guys stuck around during the ad break, I played the highlights to our show last weekend up at Wide Bay. It was like a 4-minute clip that I played. My chicken salad is just like being able to go and do that again. It's been like 3 or 4 months, Lachlan.
It's been a little while.
Since the venue that we generally work out of was getting renovated. So there was stuff going on. So we just couldn't have a show. And there wasn't really anywhere else suitable for what we like to do up there. So for like 4 months, we hadn't been able to go and do a show. And just being able to go up there, have like some good young talent being able to get chances to do stuff and testing them out and showing their growth is great to see. Like we got to see a young guy, like Mitch and I worked against a young guy called Don O'Reilly. It was really good. So I'm really interested to see like his progression through, because like the kid has some stuff that's going to be good to see. There's another young kid called Marston Holmes that's coming along great. Good Boys Inc.
I'm really enjoying Marston's work. He's great.
Yes. Good Boys Inc. are just, they've only been up at Wide Bay I think two times, and I think this was their third time, I think.
Well, was it a first time for Bones or a second time for Bones and a third time for Andre?
Second time for Bones. That'd be probably a third or fourth time for Andre, but it would have been the second time for Bones. But they were so very popular there. It was great to see. And hopefully in a couple of weeks, if I can get Lachlan and Ding to sit down and commentate them, we will put like that up on YouTube for you guys to be able to watch, because the main event too, Puppy against Renegade, great match, really good match.
I do have to bring up this message from our chat from one Robbie Eagles with the phrase "Marston Holmes on my hit list." So
what did Marston do to Robbie?
I know that Marston put out a list of dream opponents that Robbie was on. So that's interesting to see.
No, mate, it won't be. I'm charging just you. I'm just charging you.
It's Matt costed on YouTube. It's specifically costed to Matt.
But yes. And that was like, it was even Christina and I nearly called her by a shoot name, Kyla. Really good match as well. The two girls like getting better with every like time they go through the curtain. It's great to see. It's one of those things I love. I love seeing like people grow. I love seeing people grow as performers. It's so very good to see. BK Calloway, who doesn't really get a chance to step out of UPW that much. Him and Yeet just had like, I was seeing him pick Yeet up and move him around like I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, people pick Yeet up?
Yeah, it was a like really good show. Especially coming into it. It was like I wasn't too sure how it was going to be, because I didn't have the usual bad guy, good guy things that they really like up there in Wide Bay. But they enjoyed everything we gave them, luckily. So I'm really excited for Lachlan and Dink to be able to put down the commentary track on that, and we'll be able to release it to people. So that was my chicken salad for a long-winded way of saying it.
A couple of other chicken salad. Sorry, go on, Jeff.
I was going to say before you close, a bit of a sadder note, but I want to acknowledge the amazing David Stratton. I spent 10 years working in cinema in a promotional aspect, and also then in a reviewing aspect. And I spent many hours in a dark room, sitting right near the oracle and the amazing mind that was David Stratton. And not only was he generous with his time and a lovely human being, he was also someone without whom it's pretty safe to say the condition of reviewing in Australia would not be the way it is now. Many years ago, there was a movie called The Castle by the D-Generation crew, the Working Dog crew, and David Stratton on his first watch hated that movie. And not only did he have the courage to say he didn't like the film, but he also had the courage to turn around some years later and write a column saying how wrong he was. That takes a real man, and thank you, David Stratton, because without you, you walked so we could run. Jamie, do you want to add anything? I know.
I would echo that as well, because I grew up watching at the movies with Margaret and David. That was kind of what sent me down this path. And then when I got into film critique, that first cinema experience where I saw David walk into the theater, I was like, oh, I'm in this space now. It was crazy. And to then get to chat to him afterwards was awesome. Such a great thing.
It was weird.
It was a sad day.
It was weird because my first experience, sorry to digress for a second, my first experience was I got an invitation while I was still at uni to go and see, I think it was Lebowski. So, and this is like an exclusive preview to go and see Lebowski. No one else is seeing it. No one knew what it was. And I was like, yeah, I'll go and see that. It's got Jeff Bridges. I like Jeff Bridges. So I went and saw it, and sitting in front of me was David Stratton and about 4 other people, and he pulled everyone aside for a chat afterwards. That's just the kind of guy he was. He wanted everyone to talk about film all the time. And I think he's going to be seriously missed. His presence will be missed.
Absolutely. A shout out to a couple of the other chicken salads in the chat before we go. Wild Angel with a chicken salad, the general bright future of young wrestlers, not just in Australia, but the exposure of new international talent on a global stage. Absolutely agree there. An awesome shout, Wild Angel. And from Alex Fireheart, chicken salad, the moment during Takeshita versus Narita last night where Rocky Romero chased Togo backstage and the young Lions all banded together to drag Farley backstage to give Takeshita a moment with no interference. Fun stuff. Then, though, there were a couple of chicken salads on the same topic, so let's give them a quick shout out. One of them coming from Macho Man Andy Savage, saying, "Congrats on 500, you legends. It's become a great way to spend a Thursday and to have a chance to discuss local wrestling. Thanks heaps." Matty Huss saying, "Chicken salad, there's no other answer tonight. 500 shows. WRA, you legends. Congratulations." And Nick Gallier as well with, "And congrats on 500 shows of giving a shit about local wrestling." Look, it's an absolute delight. It's so much fun to do this, and especially to hear, you know, from someone like Andy, who is here every Thursday night saying it's a great Thursday night routine to come along to twitch.tv/WrestleRadio Australia on a Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and talk about what's going on around the world of wrestling, because we do it every week. You can come along to twitch.tv/WrestleRadio Australia and hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button, get notified every time we go live, because it really helps, you know, spread the message. And we're all about spreading the word and the love of Aussie wrestling. If you haven't done it already, and Alex Fireheart with "on a fucking Thursday" complimentary. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Wrestle Radio Australia. It's free. Do it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict, wherever you get your podcasts. If you are on Apple Podcasts and you could give us a 5-star review, a rating, it's really helpful to just get the podcast to spread, get into more ears. We've got merch. You can head to Redbubble. You can search for Wrestle Radio Australia, find the merch there. Proceeds don't go to us. They never have. They've gone to Beyond Blue, to Gotcha for Life, because we do a lot of work supporting mental health here in Australia. It's really important to us, acknowledging that on our 500th episode, you know, that really it is all about loving what we're getting involved in, taking care of yourself. It's so important. If you are on the lookout for merch, kickout.com.au has merch of your favorite Queensland wrestlers and wrestlers from around the country. If you're a wrestler who wants your merch up there, make sure you contact them via their Insta page. But if you're just looking to purchase, kickout.com.au is the place to go. You can also follow Wrestle Radio Australia on social media. We're Wrestle Radio Australia on Facebook, and we're at Wrestle Radio AU on Twitter and Instagram. You can also follow us individually. I am at Lachlan Albert. Todd is at Beast Eastman. You can follow Jamie at Jamie Apps Media, and Jeff has the tag there for at Wrestle_Brainia. What's going on with WrestleBrainia, Jeff?
That's right. We're coming back for an encore season. We are going to be at the Berkey Band Room on the 31st of August. Our special guests are, catch this lineup, Jamie Wilson, WrestleBrainia veteran and part originally of Puppetry of the Penis, but now he's just coming down and doing WrestleBrainia. Isaac Compton. That's right. The guy who gives Pauline Hanson more shit than anyone else on the planet. For that alone, you've got to come and see Isaac. Isaac won a lip sync battle doing I Don't Like It earlier on this year. It was very funny. We have the Musketeer going up against Jab. You can't ask for anything better. Check us out on socials. You can find tickets at Oz Tix. You can QR code the poster that's going around town at the moment. We'll see you there.
Awesome stuff. And we'd be, remiss not to mention the great stuff that Jamie is doing at Pario Magazine and with Oz Wrestling Cards. I saw that interview with one-shot Mitch Ryder go up on Pario Magazine there, Jamie.
Yes, that was a very fun one. Very cool to chat to Mitch. Chatted to someone else very cool this week for the next issue. And then I just got these bad boys back. Signed holographic or metallic Charlie Evans cards. And there's some signed Jessica Troy ones over there that'll be going up on the website very soon.
Very nice. Boys, is there anything else we have to shout out before I shout out all the wonderful people supporting us?
Just one thing. Thank you, Todd.
Big shout out to Toddy. Thank you, Todd.
And thank you, Josh.
Father himself. And a big shout out to Josh as well.
Yeah. I just really like the community that we've built. It's like here on the watching the show and talking about the show in here, we have like the 5 or 6 people that will constantly comment and be involved in it, and I fucking love like Matty Haas, Nicolea, like Andy, the people that are constantly involved. I love that stuff. We get about maybe 500 people watch the show live, which is it's great to see, and I love that. I love the fact that is only a small portion of our crowd too. So the people that we don't talk to sort of like face to face, if you will, over this every week. So the people that just listen on the podcast, thank you guys for sticking with us for as long as you have. 500 episodes. Like I said to you guys, I think it was like 2 months ago that really snuck up on me. I hadn't realized. Like I knew we'd been here for 11 years, but I didn't realize it had been 500 episodes. Like when you look back, that is a shitload of stuff that's done. And the fact that
especially
we just
in most
started
podcasts, I think last less than 20.
Yes. Yeah.
Years.
It's just it's just like from where Josh and I started by talking into like a phone, and like I would do the first interview I did was with Matt Silver, and I had my microphone that got bought for me by Cookie, who's no longer with us from Submit. He was part of the team from RCW. I'll never forget Cookie for that. Thank you so much for that. It was literally like I called Matt on my phone, put my phone on speaker, and that's how I recorded the interview. Is my phone speaker into a microphone, which went into my other phone to record it. That's how we did podcasting 12 years ago. To be able to move from that to what we do now, which is basically a TV show, when you think about it. We do the exact same shit that people watch on ESPN when they watch NFL shows and stuff like that, and First Take and those things. This is basically it now. To know that we've moved from that to here, talking about Australian wrestling blows my mind. And I love the fact that everyone's been along with us for a lot of the journey. I love the fact that sometimes I'll be at shows and a wrestler will come up to me and go, I used to listen to you guys before I got into the business. That means so much as well. I love that hopefully we've had a positive impact in the business, on the industry as a whole in Australia, and been a part of the growth of Australian wrestling. And yeah, I can't imagine not doing this anymore. As much as like you guys see how stressed I get, like doing shit like at the very last minute and trying to make like stuff for the ads and all this sort of stuff. As stressed as I get doing that, I can't see a time where I wouldn't want to do it. So once again, thank you to Lachlan, who really saved me from going insane at a time where I was just doing podcasts on my own. And a lot of times when I didn't have an interview, that meant 45 minutes of Todd talking to Todd, which is not cool.
We love a Views from the East episode.
Yeah. Let's see if Todd can continually ruin his career.
Yeah.
And then like Jeff joining us as well. Thank you, mate. And now with you, Jamie, as well. I love the fact now that we have these people. We've got Nick, who's basically like our sixth man on the bench. If we need him, we can ask him to come in, and he'll come in and not skip a beat, because he sits here on a Thursday night and he watches the show as well. So I just love this community of people that we've built that all are not necessarily in the business. Like I wouldn't say that Jamie and Jeff are technically in the business, but are fans of the business. It's great to see different points of view of it. So just thank you to everyone that watches. Thank you to everyone that listens, that's subscribed, that has done anything over the years to help us. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, a big shout out.
I did that without crying.
Well done. A massive shout out to Todd, because as much as we can say that we love doing it, there's no way it would have gotten anywhere close to 500 episodes without the huge effort that Todd put in. And a huge shout out to a man that, three of us didn't get to meet, but the legendary Josh Armour, for everything he did, getting this podcast up and running, for all that he did, within Australian wrestling and within this podcast. Like,
I didn't have a fucking clue about the technical side. I had to teach myself the technical side after Josh passed, if we're being honest. I had to teach myself more of the technical side, because basically, even when like because I used to do Wrestle Radio Australia, but then I used to do a NBA podcast called Big Ballers Podcast, and I would literally just record that, then send that to Josh and go, "Can you edit this for me? Here's $50," because I had no friggin' idea how to do it.
But the other thing, obviously, is we would not be sitting here on a Thursday night making our 500th episode or our 400th episode or the 300th episode if we didn't have people listening to the show. Thank you so much for joining us here at Wrestle Radio Australia, because we love doing it, because it means the world to us to be able to get the love of Australian wrestling out to all of you. Thank you so much for being a listener, so much for supporting what we do. We're going to be back here for episode 501 next Thursday night, back to the grind to do it, because we love talking about Australian wrestling and getting all of you in on it.
This is awkward. Todd, did you tell Lachlan that we don't need him from next week, that Jamie's going to be hosting?
Here's the thing, brother.
What?
Do you know? You ever heard about swerves?
Jamie, you're gone.
All right. So with that, on behalf of Jamie Abs, on behalf of Jeff Setti, on behalf of Todd Eastman, I've been Lachlan Albert. This has been Making Chicken Salad on Wrestle Radio Australia. Till next time, have a good one.
We're going to send it out with a tribute to the man, Josh. Love you, mate.
Are you ready to riot?
The main reason I started doing it was to promote wrestling in Australia, and if we keep doing that, that's great. But it's also a place for these wrestlers and these commentators and for the photographers on. I feel like we're doing our bit by getting it out there to those people who still think the only way they can see wrestling here is once a year when they come to the entertainment centre, you know, and they see John Cena. Like, it's amazing how many people have no idea. So that we can do that and also give these talents just a platform to tell their stories, to have a laugh. You know, it's just... I always loved radio when I was a kid. I really just want more people to